Hey, as you know, I like to start today's class by asking you guys, what do you understand by talent management? People are talking about talent management. It's important to have talents in your organization. But what is actually talent management? What's your idea? Ada? Mungkin somebody boleh start dulu.
It is
Strategies,
about
I think.
Siapa nak cakap ni dulu?
Strategies are to attract, train, and retain your talents lah.
Wah, ada orang dah baca buku dah ni. Dia Google kat depan tu.
Tak, saya memang dalam L&D, so.
Oh, okay. Tapi now we know Hanif screen is Google lah. So, I tanya soalan ni sebab I nak tengok ada orang punya screen dia tengok bola ke apa. Okay. Tadi siapa yang nak jawab? Yang seorang lagi siapa nak jawab tadi?
saya, Prof.
Okay, siapa ni? Tak nampak nama.
Yes.
Syaril, is it? Okay, yes, Syaril. Please, Syaril. Oh, Syaril yang datang lewat last week kan?
Exactly.
Right.
Wow, long memories.
Okay, dah dia datang awal. Very impressive lah.
Very good
Dia
memory.
tak sanggup duduk telah sampai 3 pagi kan? So dia datang awal.
Make it out this week.
Okay. What is it, Syaril?
Okay, Prof.
Yep.
My view, without referring to any thing, is those who have talents in an organization, we have to manage them and retain them.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
So, so it's about retaining certain people lah, because they have certain characters lah, characters yang maybe appeal to our organizations, and we believe that they could be the people who could assist the organization to achieve its mission dan sebagainya lah, betul lah. Okay, alright. Okay, anybody else?
Hizir, Prof.
Okay, Hizir. Okay.
Totally different sikit sebab saya rasa siapa yang tak ada talent, kalau dia pergi kat talent management, dia akan dapat talent. Ini layman term lah.
Ini maksudnya orang yang tak tahu datang sekolah jadi pandai. Betul?
Ya, betul. Lebih kurang lah.
So what you're saying is that I'm basically a talent manager lah. Betul ke? Is that what you're saying?
It can be.
So maknanya you attending my class to become talented gitu.
Yes, betul.
Okay. Right. Let's see. Let's hope that's the case lah. Okay, alright. What about Fatin? Fatin, do you want to give a try? Fatin ada?
Ada.
Nur Fatin. Ada. Nur Fatin. Yes, Fatin.
Talent management ni macam dia ada jabatan, ada department in certain organisation. So dia organize all the employees yang dia punya employees yang dia bagi kursus and everything, training. So dia akan gain more develop dia orang punya everything lah, character and so on. So meningkatkan dia punya nilai-nilai dia punya staff dia, everything lah. So itu gunanya the department tu untuk cungkil every yang ada dekat the employees yang ada dekat dia punya organisation. Itu pahaman saya lah.
Okay. Good idea. What about Atia? Do you want to give a try, Atia? What do you understand?
Prof.
Yeah. Hi,
Doctor. Sorry. Talent management ni, bagi pendapat saya, like is a like where the organization they provide some training and they try to develop the employee skill.
Employee skill. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Why do they do that?
Because to improve the organization, to achieve the organization goals.
Okay. Alright. Let's try Zulhilmi. Tadi dia angkat tangan.
Betul, Doktor. Okay.
Yes.
One word lah, investment.
Investment. Ini you kerja mana Zulhilmi?
Saya kerja banyak rakyat, project management.
Padahal dia cerita investment.
Okay
Now
lah.
we can understand where it's coming from lah.
Investment maksudnya the company invest on the employees' growth and success. So bila employee grow and success, dia leads to the company growth and success as well lah. So I see it as a win-win situation for both.
Syaril, tadi siapa yang hantar message tadi? Syaril, is it? Syaril yang hantar message ke? Siapa hantar? Syaril, okay. Syaril
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Syaril has already contributed a little bit more than the first answer tadi. Okay, good.
Doctor, can I try?
Yes, Amira, please.
Okay, I think talent management is optimizing skill individual for organizational
Okay,
success.
so
Is it true?
betul. Yeah, betul. Basically, what you do is that selalunya when we look at talent management, the first idea we always start with the corporate corporate punya vision. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna share. Let me share with you. Okay, Aida hantar dalam WhatsApp group. Later you boleh buka lah. You tengok dalam tu. Okay. Now, what is very important is that any company when you want to start, when you want to, bila you kata, what you want to achieve and so on, you must have a vision. Vision is important. Vision actually tells us what the organization aspire to achieve. Aspire to be lah. Apa dia nak jadi. For example, apa dia nak jadi. Macam katakan, the best organization in IT business katakan. IT industry for example. Itu dia punya vision. Lepas tu mission dia. Dan sebagainya. So once actually bila we talk about HR ni, dia mesti ada kena mengena dengan strategic management. That's why strategy is on top and then people element is one part of the deal. Macam saya kata dululah, dia ada 3 benda yang you selalu akan cover, people, process and technology. So this is the people aspect. Okay? The people aspect ni discusses about how you want to utilize the people that you have in order to achieve your vision, mission dan sebagainya. Okay, boleh faham? Okay, yang tadi when you talk about giving the training dan sebagainya, what actually happen is that you identify the people that you have. That means this is the as-is. Katakanlah you ada 10 orang, you do audit and then you realize that these are the skill sets that they have. Okay, daripada skill sets tu pula, you akan tengok the level of competencies. Contohnya, you define as report writing katakan. Okay, so the first thing they must have the skill of report writing. Okay, semua orang ada skill report writing. Tetapi level of competency berbeza. Right? So some people may be at the level of 5, some people may be at the level of 8, katakan some people may be at the level of 10 for example. So you define your organization and then you define what level of competency that you want to achieve, and from there you then can create a gap analysis. So from the gap analysis, katakanlah you define level yang you nak adalah 8. Tetapi yang ada adalah 5. So ada gap 3. So dengan 3 yang ada ni, 3 gap yang ada ni, then you send people for training for example. Okay, so that they can become more competent and then they can deliver the outcome as you desire lah, as the organization. Right? Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Nurul Haniza?
Yes.
Yes.
Boleh Boleh?
Boleh, Prof.
Boleh.
Francis, boleh tak? Does it make sense, Francis?
Yes, Prof.
Yes. Okay.
Very good.
Daniel, okay tak Daniel?
Okay.
Boleh
Boleh. Ada second half lagi.
Dia tengok bola rupanya. Tanya pun tepat-tepat bila time break. Okay. Tak ada masalah. Okay. So that's why you must understand when you talk about talent, then you got to ask yourself, you know, macam mana, what do I mean by talent? Everybody has a certain level of talent, but you need to define what sort of talent do you want, and then how do you manage this? In order for you to manage, it's very simple. First, you define the talent that you want. Second, you define the level of skills yang required. The third is the competency. Competency is the one that you need to deal with. Maknanya competency gap katakan. That's why you go for training. One of the solution for competency gap is actually training. Tak semestinya all the time when you train people you can get to the level of 8 katakan. Dia level 5 and then you nak dia level competency dia 8 katakan. You hantar training tapi tak dapat, for example. That's why some organization they probably have contractual positions rather than permanent position. Because bila dia bagi contract dan sebagainya, then that allows the organization to evaluate the staff katakan. In some jobs yang you do, for example, the level of competency ataupun you punya period, learning period so short. Therefore, when you join in, they may give you a small period of time for you to achieve certain level of competency. Maybe after you familiarize with the system, you familiarize with the environment and so on, then they expect you to run straight away. And then if say they give you a contract of 2 years or 3 years, for example, to achieve that, and unfortunately you cannot achieve, for example, sometimes they said, okay, I'm not going to renew your contract. Then they hire somebody else to do the job. For example. That is also talent management. So basically, talent management is about managing the people in your organization to address the skill set, the competency that are required for them to deliver in order to achieve the vision, mission, objective, and so on. Itulah dia basic understanding of talent management. Of course, different organization will have different requirements and so on. For example, if you are in the engineering business, then of course you talk about the technical skills. Kalau you kerja dekat bank, then mesti mungkin you punya level of competency on how to develop financial models katakan sebagainya lah kan. This is how you address talent issues, for example. Ya. Ada soalan nak tanya? Punita ada nak tanya apa-apa, Punita?
So far no, doctor.
So far tak ada. Okay. What about Faris? Faris minggu lepas banyak bercakap, hari ni dia senyap aja. Dia tengok bola ke?
Dia lambat panas sikit, doktor, biasa.
Dia tengok bola ni. Okay. What about Ummu Atira?
So far,
Okay, boleh ya. Kalai okay, Kalai?
yeah, okay, doctor.
Kalai okay. Muhammad Kalimi okay tak? Kalimi betul tak? Kalimi.
Betul, okay, Prof.
Okay tak ada masalah. Yohanis
Tak ada.
okay, Yohanis?
Okay, Prof.
Okay, tak ada masalah.
Okay.
Hanira okay tak, Hanira?
So far, okay, Prof.
So far okay, tak ada masalah Macam tak ada masalah. Okay. Let's try to do this thing. Now, I'm going to give you a scenario and want you to think. And then I want you to try to answer these questions. Now, given a scenario, katakan, kalau you are a very big company lah, katakan macam Manchester City lah, since everybody dekat belakang tu ada screen yang tengok bola sepak kat belakang kan. Then let's take an example of Manchester City lah. For those who do not know Manchester City is a football team lah. And it is one of the richest football team in the world lah kan. Yang ada tu macam Real Madrid ke, they are in almost the same class kan. So what happened is that it's very easy. Because when they define achievement, then they define, bila dia kata achievement tu maknanya piala lah. Okay, piala League, Premier League ke, European Championship ke dan sebagainya. So they define that as dia punya objektif dia lah untuk menang dan sebagainya. So what they do is that they buy the talents required. You don't really see them developing talents. I mean, they have the process to develop talents, but at the same time, because they need results to be there fast, then they buy talents. Okay, they buy talents for each of the positions so that they can almost immediately get a very strong team to achieve whatever mission dan sebagainya. Okay, so I give you that scenario as a company, for example, that has a lot of money that can do it. Okay, now let's see. What if you have an organization atau a football club that is not that rich, for example, right? So how do you actually address this issue? Apa mula-mula yang ingin kena buat? If you have been following our discussion daripada mula tadi, you would know what would be the first thing you need to do.
Doktor,
Yes.
okay, macam doktor pakai tadi Manchester City kan? Maybe dia punya mission dia is to be number 1 in EPL.
Yeah.
Okay. So based on that mission, so kenalah dengan dia orang punya spending yang banyak tu. Okay. So if you an EPL club juga, but you are not as rich as Manchester City, maybe you define your mission to be maybe mid-table kan, 10 ke 15.
Is
So,
it? Macam ni lah. You are dismissed from the class lah, is it? I bagi intro lah, tak payah datang kelas lah.
Liverpool sah.
Tak payah datang kelas lah. You dah dapat A lah. Congratulations lah. Kita second class dah dapat A lah.
Alamak. Boleh doktor? Saya sambung.
Okay. See you next semester. In a different class lah. Okay, siapa lagi nak try? Yeah, correct. The answer is precisely correct. The first thing that you need to do is define your mission dulu. Kalau you tak define your mission, then everybody is trying to do the same thing. They will not be able to do that. And therefore, you will always step on the wrong beginning. You punya first step lagi dah salah. That's why you need to define your mission. Tak semua organisation boleh jadi macam Apple. So some organisation, they will tell you that, okay, dia macam ni tau. Kalau kita belajar economics, ni siapa yang dulu belajar economics? Anybody studied economics in the past? Ni semua dah tak nak angkat tangan pula dah. Tadi ada orang nak angkat tangan. Sini tak ada orang nak angkat tangan. Anybody study economics in the past? Degree economics ada tu? Siapa?
Semester.
Tak ada, okay.
Semester we study economy.
Study economics. Siapa dapat A economics? Ni nak test balik ni.
Sudah tak nak ngaku sah.
Dah tak ada orang nak mengaku dapat A pula kan? Itulah. Ajar kena faham. Bukannya kena grade. Ni dah. Nur Hashimah ni sure dapat A last semester ni. Kita tanya. Okay. Hashimah. Nur Hashimah. Okay.
Ya, saya
nak tanya awak satu soalan lah. Ni soalan. Mesti kalau you belajar economics ni antara yang mula-mula sekali. The first thing kita belajar economics. The first thing ialah resources are scarce. Betul tak?
Betul.
Okay. Itu perdagangan form 1. First day masuk kelas. Resources are limited. Dalam economics, first sentence, first paragraph, first chapter. Economics are scarce. Apa tu? Resources are scarce. Maknanya talents are scarce.
Betul.
Kalau talents are unlimited, you boleh beli sentiasa. Tak cukup kita beli. Tak cukup talent, kita ambil talent baru kan. Jadi, in reality, resources are scarce. That means kalau you pergi pejabat saja kan, these are the people that I could make do with these people. I bukan boleh buang dia sesuka hati. I bukan boleh ambil sesuka hati. Betul tak?
Betul.
Okay, that's the first chapter. First. Masuk second chapter. Okay, dia pun belajar demand and supply. Betul?
Betul.
Jadi kalau you nak beli talent, kan boleh beli all the time. Kadang-kadang talent tu tak available. Kan?
Yeah.
Dan sebagainya kan. You nak macam ni. Jadi actually dalam market tak available. Ataupun the organisation can pay this much, but that particular talent needs this much of salary. So, benda ni mesti ada mismatch dan sebagainya. So, we talk about demand and supply. Okay, the third chapter, first paragraph, third chapter. Dia akan cerita pasal market structure.
Betul.
Yohanis dulu dapat grade apa Yohanis dekat last semester? Jadi dapat A.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Ni Nur Hashimah dapat apa?
Samalah dengan dia.
Satu kapal. Okay, kita tengok jawapan dia. Ada berapa market structure? How many market structures are there? In life, benda ni you kena tahu sampai mati, you kena tahu. Tak payah belajar, tak payah apa. Ini mesti tahu sampai mana. Sebab ini boleh digunakan untuk semua benda dalam kehidupan. Ada berapa banyak market structure? Anybody knows? Ni. Hashimah tahu, ingat tak?
Monopoli.
Ya, siapa cakap tu?
Dicari siapa?
Hidir.
Okay.
Liverpool
Ya.
fan.
Competition.
Dia dah dapat A, dah dia okay.
Jadi dah dapat A.
Competition.
Yeah, it's all about competition. So market structure, let me tell you, dia ada 4. Ya, ini ingat sebab dia boleh guna untuk sampai bila-bila. Nak pergi interview pun boleh, nak beli barang pun boleh, nak beli apa-apa pun. Dalam dunia ni ada 4 market structure. The first one is monopoly. Second one is oligopoly. The third one is monopolistic competition. And the last one is perfect competition. Dia ada 4. Okay, ini tak payah belajar economics pun you kena ada benda ni. So if you're a monopoly, means that you can do whatever you like. Contoh monopoli dalam Malaysia ni, sebab dalam Malaysia kita semua monopoli kita regulated monopoli. Macam TNB is a monopoly, tapi dia regulated. That means government control. Kalau dekat apa tu capitalist countries macam US dan sebagainya, walaupun dia ada anti monopoly punya policy, tetapi kalau ada satu-satu monopoli, maknanya dia boleh charge whatever price they like. So kalau you dalam Malaysia, you are the only talent yang ada. Okay? The only man who has gone to the moon, katakan. The only man who has gone to the Mars. Of course, you boleh dictate whatever price you like because you're the only one. Betul, faham?
Faham.
That's what it means. Kalau you oligopoly, then you would know there are only a few of you, katakan 3-4 orang. Jadi you punya strategi mestilah you risau pada 3-4 orang yang akan menjadi bagi competition pada you. You tak payah risau about 37 million people dalam Malaysia. Sebab you ada 4-5 orang aja yang you patut tahulah. Because they are your real competitors. Other than that, they are not really your competitors. The other one is monopolistic competition. So monopolistic competition ni is basically ramai. Dia ramai, tapi dia bagi solution yang lain-lain. Contohnya, organisation kata, we want someone with a degree. Degree macam-macam degree ada. Engineering pun degree. Economics pun degree. So dia kata tak kisah. Janji orang tu ada degree dah boleh start kerja. Because they believe those who have gone to the university, they get certain level of training. So all I needed is somebody with a degree, katakan. Okay, so apa yang menjadi isu kat sini ialah monopolistic competition. There are so many of them. And the last one is perfect competition. Now, in real life, the word perfect competition itself does not exist. Perfect competition ni ialah macam fenomena yang menunjukkan it is so perfect the market. So dalam dunia tak perfect kan. Jadi kita gunakan tu sebagai kayu pengukur saja. Jadi kalau saya share with you this knowledge today, maknanya you boleh guna benda 4 yang saya share with you ni dalam kehidupan you seharian. Kalau you buka kedai dekat taman you seorang saja yang buka kedai yang macam tu. Jadi you boleh act as monopoly. Tapi jangan jadi irrelevant monopoly. Maknanya you short sendiri. Walaupun you seorang-seorang duduk situ, tapi orang tak perlu you. Jadi itu nama dia, dia dipanggil irrelevant monopoly. Monopoly yang tidak penting. Jadi dia tak boleh demand lah. Dulu contohnya ada satu je telecommunication company dalam Malaysia. Dia Telekom Malaysia. Kan dulu-dulu kan. Lepas tu lama-lama dah ada banyak telecommunication company macam Maxis, Digi, Celcom. Jadi these 3 companies they become oligopoly because all 3 of them provide same solution but they give different offering in terms of services. They never compete on the prices. You balik you tengok characteristics of monopoly, oligopoly dan sebagainya. Why I'm sharing you this idea is because dalam kehidupan kita seharian ni kebanyakan company ni dia bila mencari talent, Dan bila talent tu, they need to understand who they are. And kebanyakan, or most of the time, companies are looking for talent. And talents tu sebenarnya jatuh dalam kategori monopolistic competition. That means when you advertise for a position, ramai orang apply. So it could be anybody that could get the job as long as they meet the certain requirement lah, minimum requirement. Tapi there are certain positions yang you can say, I'm almost a monopoly. Because tak ada orang ada skill set. For example, dalam Malaysia tak ada. Dan orang pernah pergi bulan ke, orang pernah pergi apa tu, certain planet ke dan sebagainya, tak ada orang ada. Ataupun you have this, you have the talent that was the only project yang pernah dibuat dalam negara lain, and then Malaysia nak buat projek tu, jadi you seorang aja yang ada talent. Of course you can demand macam-macam. Ataupun monopolistic competition, for example. There are a few of you that could do this. Why this thing is very important? It's because you need to understand about demand and supply, how you can find your talents. Itu in terms of job market. Okay? Ada soalan nak tanya? Ada siapa-siapa yang terkeliru? Ada. Amira okey tak Amira?
Okey, Doktor.
Amira tengok bola ke tengok skrin?
Tengok Doktor.
Tengok saya. Okey. Sebab saya tahu Daniel ni dia tengok bola.
Tengok doktor.
Okay, alright. Okay. Siapa yang tak faham analogi yang saya bagi tadi tu? Ada siapa-siapa yang tak faham? Syaril, okey Syaril? Syaril,
Okay, sir. Okay.
Can you follow the discussion?
Can, sir.
Yeah, okay. So that is how in real life you have to deal with job markets dan sebagainya. Kita tengok market structure. That's why bila orang kata this year's ataupun sekarang ni is a suppliers market. Maknanya suppliers market ni maknanya supplier companies will dictate what talents they want. And dia tahu terlalu banyak sangat talent kat luar. Jadi they can dictate the price. Kan? Macam sekarang ni terlalu banyak sangat fresh graduate, for example. Organisation giving 2,000 pun ramai yang apply. Betul tak? Because they ask for general things. That's why they can put the price as low as that, for example. Tapi kalau a certain skill yang required tu adalah yang susah nak didapat, jadi some talents may say that this is almost a monopoly, katakan. Bukan monopolistic competition ataupun oligopoly. There's only a few people who only have these skill sets. Therefore, they can demand certain prices dan sebagainya. Okay? Boleh? Boleh
Doktor, sorry.
Okay, siapa nak tanya tu? Siapa tanya?
Hizir.
Hizir.
Doktor, you saying that talent, dia punya market dia, monopoli saja. Dia tak ada yang lain, tak ada kena-mena. Is it?
Ada. Dia boleh jadi monopoli boleh. Dia boleh jadi oligopoli pun boleh. Dan dia boleh jadi apa-apa boleh. I'm just saying that you need to know the market.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then you can fix the demand and supply punya issue lah. Ya?
Right.
Boleh? Itulah dia maksudkan begitu. Katakan sekarang ni kan, apa yang kalau kita main bola sepak lah, katakan kita define, katakan position mana yang paling susah nak dapat dan sebenarnya tak ramai yang betul-betul hebat dalam bidang tu. Contoh striker lah, katakan. Yang sebenarnya betul-betul hebat dalam dunia ni tak ramai. That's why they can put a very high price on a striker. Because ada beberapa orang saja yang boleh diconsider sebagai really, really top star dalam dunia ni, for example. Okay? Tapi for certain other position, kita tengok position tu senang nak diganti dengan talent-talent yang lain-lain, for example. Right? So then the price will be lower. Because you can dictate. Dia sebenarnya dia berhubung kait between demand and supply and also the talents dan sebagainya. That is one of the solution lah when you talk about buying talents outside. Tapi kalau you tak ada, tadi kita cerita, if you are an organisation yang sebenarnya tak ada resources yang banyak in terms of financial strength pun tak kuat dan sebagainya, then you have to deal with the people that you have. Therefore, you may have to adopt different strategy. First, you need to define a mission dan sebagainya. Then you can realistically say that this is where I want to be. Contohnya, katakanlah you are in your organization itself is in a monopolistic competition. Contoh monopolistic competition punya player is like macam orang jual roti canai. Orang jual roti canai ni sebenarnya dia tahu dia terlampau banyak sangat competition sebab dia compete juga dengan orang jual nasi lemak. Dia compete juga dengan orang jual mie goreng katakan. Dia compete dengan ramai orang sebab orang datang pagi-pagi dia boleh makan mana-mana pun jadi dia kenyang saja. So you know dia punya mission katakan mungkin they need to make a certain income saja. Dan based on that they can have talents yang mungkin tak ada berapa skill set sangat, tak berapa skillful atau tak berapa competent. Dia boleh masak begitu-begini dah cukup. So apa yang Izzy cakap tadi itu betul. It depends on your mission first. Then based on the mission, then you can identify the right talent ataupun the right strategy for you to address lah. Macam mana kita nak jadikan organisation kita tu dapat tackle isu-isu talent dengan lebih efektif. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh, Prof.
Okay.
Okay.
So kalau you tengok dalam slides yang telah saya share dekat you, I start off dengan mengatakan these are the mission, objective, and then these are the corporate strategy, these are the business strategy dan sebagainya. Sebenarnya dia ada kena-mengena dengan strategi. Then only from that strategy kita turun ke bawah kepada strategic human resource management pula. Daripada strategic human resource management, then you can actually have an idea, a better idea on how to find or to manage the talent. To find sama ada you beli talent tu ataupun you you train the talent, you bagi the right training. Okay. Okay, Syarul Nizam. Okay ke? Make sense ke? What I share with you? Syarul Nizam ada?
Ya, Prof. Ya, Prof.
Okay, does it make sense?
Yes.
Faris? Apa komen Faris? Komen apa-apa Faris?
So far no comment, sir.
No comment? Takkanlah tak ada komen. Ni Chia Pek Bun. Any observation?
So far, no, sir.
Okay, boleh.
Boleh.
Okay, Farhana?
So far, okay, Prof.
Farhana, okay. Nadia Ahmad.
Prof, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Okay, based on my experience, so meaning that, okay, of course, we must align with the missions and visions of the company. From that, HR come up with their own HR philosophy. You see?
Yes,
so
correct.
So from there, we come up with the strategies, reward, ke apa, ke everything lah. So meaning that we have to review, analyze, and then baru kita design, develop, so communicate, ada proses lah seterusnya. Itu yang saya je lah.
Yeah, okay, betul. So you design and everything tu, basically you want to manage the talent lah, kan?
Yeah.
Talent ni is very, is actually in order to manage talent ni dia bukan senang. It's very difficult. Tapi yang kita bagi tu is a general idea. Kita belum pergi sampai ke actually, okay, if I already find the gaps, and then people say that, okay, send them for training, katakan. Then we assume after you send them for training dan sebagainya, after some time, from 5 they reach to the level 8. It's not as easy as that. Kalau you main simulation game, it's very easy. Katakan
Yeah.
dia 5 pergi hantar training, you spend 2,000, dia pergi training, dia dapat 6. Lepas tu you
Yeah.
hantar sekali lagi training, dia jadi 7. Lepas tu hantar
Yeah.
sekali training, dia dapat, okay, itu simulation dia boleh lah. Tapi in real life, it's not as simple as that. Right? You
Yeah,
send
because
people for...
because currently most of the company they are, try to come up with a unique EVP. Semua nak come up with a unique EVP, but at the end we must look at into the impact jugalah, cost
Yes.
semua kan.
Yes, correct. So it is not as easy as that. Now this course is about human resource management dan juga it's about talent. So talent ni is a subset of human resource management. Dalam human resource management dia ada banyak lagi, succession planning, training is even one of them. Lepas tu you boleh tengok performance management and then so on. Tapi because bila dia pecahkan kepada talent management, of course you akan tengok juga dia punya skill strategy, and then the talent itself needs to perform. Kita tengok performance dia, daripada performance dia we also know how to mitigate the issues yang you face, katakan. Because for example, bila you talk about talent management, selalu je organisation akan kaitkan talent management dengan succession planning. Dengan succession planning, for example. So, bila you ada succession planning, then you identify which talent needs to be in that succession planning. Okay. One of the organisation yang bagus pasal benda ni in the past lah, sekarang saya tak tahu, was Shell. Shell Trading Malaysia lah. Dia ni, for example, dia can identify daripada mula-mula you masuk, dia dah identify what are your potentials. Then from there, they can actually design something so that dia boleh create satu macam journey for you to actually become the person that they thought you will become. Katakanlah you ni material untuk jadi director. Although today you sebenarnya start daripada bawah executive, tapi dia dah sediakan career path you untuk you jadi for you to achieve to the level of becoming a director dan sebagainya lah, for example. Okay, maybe some organisation can do that because they have a past experience. Maybe they can do that because they have processes. Usually MNCs they have that. Senang aja, dia dah ada sistem dan sebagainya, orang je masuk dalam sistem tu dan dia dah boleh jalan. But many other organisation they don't have that privilege. Dia tak ada that system. So dia masih terkait-kait lagi untuk dapat to that level. Betul.
Doktor nak tanya.
Ya,
Doktor.
Ya.
Sorry, Karo nak tanya dulu. Karo tanya dulu.
Talent management ni dia ada terlibat dengan development dan retention ke? Talent management.
Sorry, the first sentence tadi apa? Retention?
Macam
Sebelum tu apa?
untuk company dia dari segi development dan retention, dia adakah dia terlibat dalam talent management?
Ya. It's also part of that. Because macam saya bagi tahu tadi kan, ada certain organisation dia akan bagi you contract dan sebagainya. So they develop you to achieve certain level. Okay, dan maybe if you're good, then they want to retain you. Dia akan retain you. So that is one of them juga. That is also part of talent management. Faris tadi nak tanya.
Yes, Doctor. No, just want to add into the discussion.
Okay.
Some will also identify this the whole process as it's a part of the loop lah, talent management punya loop.
Yeah.
So it starts from the attraction, and then you identify, and then you develop the employee. And then the whole engagement process with the employee.
Hebat pula si Faris ni. Habis dia nak mengajar aku ke dia aku nak mengajar dia ni?
No, I'm adding to what our brother said just now lah.
Are you in the right class? Ini kena pergi advanced management apa tu human resource management class ni. Dia joki Faris Okay, tadi Punita wanted to ask a question as well, is it? Or you want to give some ideas, Punita?
No, Doctor. Actually, I tertekan mute.
Oh, tertekan.
Sorry.
Alright. Tak apa. Betul Apa Faris cakap tadi is correct Generally that's what you do lah in talent management. Betul. Okay, alright. Ni I tak dengar lagi suara siapa, tak dengar lagi ni.
Doctor, one
Yeah.
is
Sorry.
yeah. I just can't refrain from including the government sector because my experience in government sector for some time, for over 20 years, managing people.
Okay.
But then the problem there is like what we have in this class. We are all studying management, human capital, and all these. We understand each other what we're talking.
Okay.
Down on the other side, on the government sector, they don't understand this because the managers, some are not qualified with human resource qualification, and even the subordinates are not qualified to understand what is the vision and what are the steps being taken to improve the talents. So only lately I see, this just to add only, just lately I see there are qualified people coming into the position to supervise and run the organization. So there's a lot of improvement in the government sector now. But we have wasted a lot of time wondering the last, say, maybe 15 years ago. Thank you.
Okay, I guess it's like this. Kalau macam government sectors tu, because dia biasanya dia ada PTD kan. PTD ini dia people move around, for example. They move around from one agencies to another agency, satu kementerian ke satu kementerian. So dia probably, dia mesti ada certain skill set untuk membolehkan dia buat certain things lah. Of course, sometimes they take longer time to reach there dan sebagainya. I'm sure they also address the importance of human resource management lah. Mungkin dalam private sector, the way they do things differently. Because private sector ni is profit making, dia punya entities. I mean, the role of private companies is to maximize profit. Sedangkan government organization bukan maximize profit. They are to maximize shared values. Shared values ni maknanya when government entities are developed, there are certain values that they need to fulfill lah dan sebagainya lah. There are certain values that they are promoting lah. Jadi dia punya behaviors are slightly different. Dia punya behaviors are slightly different. Okay, tadi ada somebody yang nak cakap ke nak tanya soalan? I think it's Siti Salma kot I was going to ask.
No problem.
Everything okay?
Okay.
Everything okay. Semua okay ya? So I dah dengar semua orang cakap. Hanif dah cakap dah Hanif. Hanif dah senyap dah hilang gambar dah.
Ada je.
Ada okay. Tak ada soalan nak tanya Hanif.
Dia basically this is about balancing apa resource yang you ada dengan apa yang you want. Like kan?
Yes, correct. Hanif dulu dekat Maida, sama juga dekat Maida kan Hanif kan. Say for example, when somebody comes in at the level of 41, right? They came in as whatever degree kan, sebab requirement dia nak kena ada degree, betul tak?
Betul.
Okay, so they have no idea about certain industry, betul?
Yes, correct.
Okay, they could be doing biology as their degree, could be doing accounting ke whatever lah. Tapi katakan dia apply for the position nak duduk dalam sector, for example. So you just put them into whatever sector. Katakan So of course they start with zero, isn't it?
Everybody basically start from zero lah.
Sebab requirement dia kena ada degree saja. Dia tak kata degree in, I mean, quite general lah juga kan. And then after some time, these people are trained. Katakan 3 tahun, 4 tahun dia duduk dalam certain sector lah katakan. Dalam sektor biokimia ke whatever lah. And then after that, katakan position untuk jadi 44 tu tak ada. Dekat dia punya position tu. Maknanya static lah. Tapi ada position dekat tempat lain. Ada 44 dalam industri yang lain, for example. So it doesn't mean that they cannot go. They can also go, isn't it? And then they will go for the training dan sebagainya. Betul lah?
Ya, part of kita punya ni, kita pun understand lah dia punya career development kan. Kalau kita tak boleh nak provide, we have to let them go lah.
Correct. Kalau dia cannot then apa ni lah, then you have to go lah dan sebagainya kan. Betul. Okay. Alright, okay. Ada siapa-siapa lagi yang ada different experience? Khairul Shah.
Saya dari quality department.
Okay, quality
So
department.
yang
Okay.
saya nampak dekat sini talent management antara yang HR ni dan dalam saya punya department nampak macam sama. Dari segi performance management dia, reward dia, development dia nampak sama macam mungkin saya akan lebih faham lagi lah bila teruskan pelajaran ni.
Oh, okay, alright. Okay, kita cuba. Amira, Nur Amira.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, can you tell us what is the experience in your organization? How do they manage talent? Do you have a talent management team or do you have a HR yang generally buat talent ke atau macam mana?
I'm not particularly in HR department and not familiar with it.
Okay, tak maksud saya dalam organisation you yang you nampak macam mana? How do they manage talent?
I have no idea. Sorry.
Apa dia? Sorry?
I have no idea, doctor.
Okay, let's try somebody else pula. Nurul Haniza, you want to share in your organization? How do they manage talent? Ada. Nurul Haniza ada tak? Okay, kalau tak ada, kita try pergi tempat lain pula. Atia, how do they manage talent in your organization?
In my organization, is it?
Yes.
They like every year we have team building. So is that yeah, so I think that is the way they do the talent management for employees.
Okay. I think that is one of the ways lah. One of the mechanism lah kan untuk address the importance of talent dan sebagainya kan.
Yes.
Okay. I want to tell you, like for example, when I was working in one of the private organization, in the past, what actually happened is that when we talk about talent management, sebenarnya the initiative comes under the CEO's purview. That's why I asked tadi Amira tu. I asked her because I wanted to see does this position falls dalam HR punya department ke dekat mana? Because memang kebanyakan organisation dia buat dalam HR. Tapi ada juga organisation yang sebenarnya dia tak buat dalam HR tapi dia buat dekat tempat lain. Because in this case dia rasa what you need to do is that you need the CEO to intervene and define who are the people that can be defined as talent management. Usually talents, and then usually dalam case ni diletak succession planning juga dalam talent management. That means the CEO, because it's private company kan, so in the private company the CEO plays a very important role lah in identifying the right talent, the succession people for certain position in the organization. Okay.
Betul.
Yeah.
Doktor nak tanya let's say yelah most of the company hantar staff pergi training kan untuk bring out the best of them kan, nak bagi potential apa semua kan. So nak tahu macam mana, macam contohnya macam office saya, dia memang selalu hantar staff pergi training, tapi okey lah training je lah. So kat mana orang HR punya side dia tengok okay, this person dah improve, okay, kita dah ada training banyak kali, so ada tak dia punya measurement untuk maybe nak promotion ke apa kan. Macam mana pada si HR tengok kat situ lah. Macam bagi orang ingat training macam training je, pergi je lah makan.
Training makan training equivalent to makan, betul ke? Kalim, so every time when your organization hantar you have a training, the first thing that comes into your mind is makan, betul ke? Kalimi, betul ke?
Feedback for makan best.
Feedback dia makan best. Okay. Kalimi macam mana Kalimi?
biasanya memang kita hantar pergi training, Prof.
So kita hantar pergi training ke kita hantar pergi makan?
Actually training. Mungkin mungkin dia orang tak dapat banyak, tapi mungkin sikit ada yang masuk lah untuk upskill, untuk naik skill dia orang. Mungkin tak banyak, tapi sedikit boleh bantu lah untuk organisation towards mission and vision lah.
Okay, alright. This is my view. Macam for example, you see, when you do a performance contract, that means you do a performance contract, you identify these are the performance required for somebody to deliver a particular job. That is a performance contract lah. So that means you suruh you punya talent to sign this thing, mana dia faham apa dia kena achieve, for example. And then along the way there are some skill gaps. Ataupun you realize that after you are in this position, you are required to achieve higher level of competency, and therefore you kena pergi certain training dan sebagainya. Okay. So you pun pergi training. Siapa identify what training needs to do? What training needs to buat katakan? Siapa yang identify? Sebenarnya, siapa yang jawab tadi? Yohanis.
I think untuk training ni sebenarnya it involve everybody actually. Sebab kadang-kadang memang the staff is asking for training. But macam HR, we should actually look why they want to go to this type of training. Whether dia orang punya job tu sebenarnya akan improve ke tidak with this training.
Yes.
That's why tadi yang macam daripada awal tadi Dr. cakap pasal the strategic planning tu. Because bila strategic planning tu, the management will strategize what they want to do. So daripada situ kita tengok all the staff whether they have the competency or the skill that they need to perform in order to achieve the strategic planning tu tadi. So kadang-kadang ada staff yang minta training, kita akan katalah dia punya job function tu ada masuk tak benda tu. Kalau tak masuk, we will actually advise which training sepatutnya diorang kena pergi. That's why macam HR sekarang, I think it's more on strategic punya part, bukan transactional sangat. Sebab kita kena faham sebenarnya what are other people doing in their job untuk kita bagi the training to them. Rather than people cakap, ni ada training best ni, jomlah kita pergi kan. Tapi sebenarnya itu tak berkenaan, bukan tak berkenaan, maybe dia improve sikit tapi dia tak boleh macam melompat lah untuk jadikan dia orang punya skill atau kompetensi tu naik. So I think yang macam tadi tu sebab actually HR macam dah have to be very strategic to get the training learning development ni proper lah. That's my view lah.
Yes, correct. So of course what you said at the very beginning tu, yang it involves many parties. Yes, kadang-kadang staff may want to provide certain inputs. Sometimes you punya line of manager pun kena provide certain input. Sometimes kalau you have a very good HR punya team, then they obviously monitors your performance dan sebagainya, and they are very strategic, and they realize that okay, now it's time for you to have to update to a certain skill set dan sebagainya, and then of course the new training is required dan sebagainya kan. So there's so many parties that actually involved dalam benda ni. Now you may say yang macam tadi, okay, HR memerlukan mesti ada strategic punya thinking. Okay. In big organisation, usually you have this benda-benda macam ni is quite normal. Tapi in many smaller organisation, benda-benda macam ni tak berapa normal. Jadi dia tak ada kebolehan begini, for example. And many of these people are macam you kata tadi lah, they are transactional people. Transaction people tu dia hanya buat kerja operational saja. Dia tak ada, maknanya dia tak tahu. Dia tak tahu hala tuju organisation that much. Dia tak tahu the dynamics of organisation dan sebagainya. So it depends on the organisation that you stay. Tapi dalam apa yang kita belajar dalam human resource management and talent management, you see that the roles of strategic planning is becoming very important dalam HR sendiri. That's why it becomes strategic human resource management. Okey, ada siapa-siapa nak tanya soalan? Kalai, okey tak Kalai? Ada nak tanya apa-apa soalan Kalai?
No, Doctor.
Okey, tak ada soalan. Hanira, ada soalan nak tanya?
So tak ada nak tanya tapi just macam saya punya view lah sebab macam saya punya organisation macam tadi Yohani cakap okay HR memang dah preparekan training yang sangat sesuai tapi macam dia cakap juga benda tu bergantung kepada ramai orang yang macam saya cakap manager tu mainkan peranan juga. Ada setengah-setengah staff kat tempat saya, dia apply training yang saya rasa tak relevan pun dengan dia punya position. Tapi manager approve je dia punya training tu. End up balik, saya tak nampak pun ada apa-apa improvement pada staff tu sendiri. Dan HR pun tak ada apa-apa macam evaluation tetap ada buat selepas 3 bulan training tu. Ada isi, ada evaluation tu semua tapi tak ada apa consequences selepas training tu dari segi manager punya part and HR punya part. Saya tak nampak kat situ improvement tu tak ada pun. So what is your comment?
Okay, first of all, you must understand there are a few things that you want to achieve in training. Training ni sebenarnya kita kena tengok dari segi training ni kadang-kadang memang betul. Kebanyakannya kali training ni dibagi untuk kita see some improvement in the way you do things. Tetapi ada kalanya training ni diberi bukan untuk tujuan tu. Sebenarnya it's a form of reward. Some people are sent for training. Itu yang macam Daniel kata tadi tu. Sebenarnya training ni orang pergi nak pergi makan aja. Mungkin this is one of the way actually to reward your staff. Sebenarnya pergi training tu. So dia relax dan sebagainya. Dulu masa saya buat PhD dulu. So masa saya buat PhD kat Cambridge dulu. I'm not sure whether I told you last week kan. Macam dekat situ 1 tahun kerajaan Malaysia akan hantar 3 kali. That means ada 3 term. Dalam 1 tahun ada 3 term. Setiap term tu dia akan hantar satu officer sama ada daripada kementerian di pertahanan ataupun polis. That means every year ada 3 orang akan datang. Setiap 1 term 1 orang. And usually when they go for training, this training is about 9 weeks. And then when they go back, usually dia akan naik pangkat. Dan orang-orang yang naik pangkat tu they become they hold very high position dalam organisation di Malaysia ni lah, dalam military ataupun polis. Dan ada antara mereka yang menjadi ketua polis negara, ada di antara mereka yang menjadi general dalam army ataupun dalam military lah. Okay, so it depends on the ni. Saya juga faham apa yang menjadi tanya-tanya soalan daripada Daniel dan juga Siti Hanira tadi. Saya tak faham lah. Mereka ni pergi, mungkin mereka ni bukanlah seperti yang apa doktor gambarkan tadi. Mereka ni mungkin staff-staff biasa saja. So they go for training tetapi kita tak nampak dia orang punya benefit ataupun we cannot see the impact from their trainings, for example. So do they have a mechanism nak evaluate how well the candidate has achieved from the training? Adakah the training given to the right training to them dan sebagainya? Itu mungkin persoalan-persoalan yang lain. Persoalan-persoalan yang lain yang perlu dijawab. Ya? Okay? Alright, what is your comment, Fatin? Fatin, are you there? Okay, kalau Fatin tak ada, what about Yohanis? What is your comment on that?
Ada.
Okay, Fatin, what is your comment?
So far lebih kurang macam itulah. Saya pun bukan dalam HR lain kan sebab saya buat retail, buat mall sales kan.
Okay.
Jadi saya pun nampak benda-benda tu macam terjadi jugalah, tapi tak tahu nak macam mana, sebab kita orang ni more tak terlibat pun benda macam tu kan. Jadi tapi itulah yang saya nampak jugalah.
Okay, alright. Yohanis, what is your comment?
Komen yang mana tu, Prof?
Yang tadi yang saya bagi tahu pasal you know
Reward
what
tadi.
is the purpose of training, and then you know sometimes people go for training not actually to get good skills, but it's actually as a form of reward, for example.
I think depending on the organisation lah. Macam kalau training for reward tu is a luxury for everybody kan. So
Selalunya training for reward ni selalunya dia bagi kepada bos-bos lah. Tapi I boleh faham. That's why I said I boleh faham bila Siti Hanira dan juga Daniel bagi example tadi. Mungkin bila saya bagi contoh ni, may feel, oh, I don't think these people should get those kind of training sebenarnya. That's why dia pergi-pergi dia pergi kepada makan-makan dan sebagainya. Kita tak nampak impact dia. Memang kalau selalu
ada kadang-kadang yang macam tu, especially kalau they want to go in group kan. So bila pergi in group tu, bila training kat luar memang seronok lah macam tu kan. Tapi kadang-kadang we let people training kat luar juga, sebab bila kita buat, bila yang training yang HR buat sendiri, I mean the in-house training that we invite people ceramah daripada luar and then ajar kat situ, bila the bosses will keep calling them out and then buat ni kan. So kita pun rasa kadang-kadang tak berguna jugalah buat in-house. Buat kat luar tu pun okay, tapi cuma kita tak boleh control the content of the training lah. Ada yang macam kita buat untuk a few department, we sendiri cari the training provider and discuss with the bosses and everybody apa sebenarnya content of the training to itself. Yang itu memang specific to upskill and reskill the department kan. Tapi problem dia bila buat in-house tu, itulah cik orang panggil lah apa.
Okay.
Kadang-kadang tu tak berkesan jugalah.
Okay. Dulu there was one time I can draw you and share with you one examples I had when I was in Saudi Arabia. The training was very interesting because the training was about how to use Excel.
Yes,
Semua orang assume Excel yang Microsoft Excel kan.
We do that kind of training lah.
So bila kita kata Excel, straight away people understand, okay, Excel ni kita boleh buat calculation dan sebagainya, itu dan sebagainya. So it's very useful. Nak guna Excel, nak buat table, nak buat tu semua senang cerita kan. Tetapi actually you can have a very sophisticated training on using Excel tu sebenarnya nak create financial modelling.
Yes. Ending of the tu kita tujuan dia apa untuk buat benda tu.
Apa tujuan
not about Excel lah. It's just kita nak buat financial analysis ke macam mana.
Financial analysis. Okay. So what happened is that when I was I attended this training, so for 5 days we were told how to use Excel, what are the functions of using Excel dan sebagainya. So in the end, I think the class consists of like macam 15 orang ke 20 orang lah. They were all from Islamic Development Bank. But because it's so technical, at the end of the day, we realized that they were all very good, but then our ability to absorb dia tidak sebagaimana yang sepatutnya kita boleh buat. The reason is because there's so many technical things involved dalam tu, dan sedangkan kita ni tidak berapa mahir, for example, dalam tu, jadi kita tak boleh follow. So in the end, we just take the training materials dan sebagainya, then kita practice some other times. Okay. Now, kalau kita tengok daripada segi, if you look at this analogy, and we compare back to what Siti Hanira dengan Daniel bagi tahu tadi, then maybe you cannot see the impact at all. In a very short period of time. You see them when they come back, they actually very competent in deriving a financial model dan sebagainya. You cannot see that. Dan mungkin dalam masa 3 bulan pun mereka tak boleh, sebab actually when they go back, they didn't actually have the time to actually they look back at the exercises that they have done ataupun they completed the training materials yang ada tu sendiri. So last kali the bosses may say, oh actually such a waste of time saja these people attended the training. Do you agree? Punita, do you agree with my observation?
Yes, doctor. Sometimes longer hour of training, it can make the participant get bored and we cannot accept all the input given by our trainers. To avoid that, actually, I'm working with government sector. So what we do for longer days or longer hour of training, we will actually open and ask with our staff who is really interested to join. And we believe who is interested in those topics will have more concentration level, higher level, rather than who are not interested and by forcing them to go. Another thing we do is when they ask for training, there's a pinch, like we'll tell them when they come back, they need to train a few of their friends or who are not able to join. Maybe the participant required is 1, but interested is like 4 or 5. So we'll just open for 1, but then we will mention to them when they come back, they need to train the others. So
macam train the trainer
during the training, yes, so during the training,
they go back and then train their colleagues and so on. Okay?
Yes, exactly. This is where we make sure they concentrate in training rather than pergi makan, relax macam tu lah. So makan, relax tu ada, tapi important points, slides and whichever given during the training, they need to really come back and give input to others. And the bosses also we will make sure the bosses join, because most of the training we give to the lower ground people who's working, we also need to know what is the content so that when they work on that, we can observe them and monitor them. So that's a way of handling. And we are not HR, we are just handling many staffs. So this is one way where we can control, like to avoid them to go lepak lah, so-called lepak. So that's what we do.
Okay, just macam Zulhilmi bagi tahu tadi lah Zulhilmi bagi tahu tadi, it's a knowledge sharing sessions and then it's a betul lah that is correct. That means we want to make sure that people are there to learn from each others and then some organization they don't have the financial resources to allow everybody to go and so on kan. Jadi tempat santai satu orang and then the rest will have to to come back and teach them lah. Yes, Zulhilmi, you angkat tangan.
Okay, Doktor, saya nak share sikit lah. This is to quote first my former CEO in a regulatory body dulu. Dia pernah cakap pasal training and talent succession ni lah. Dia pernah cakap dulu, when conflict or crisis happen, we don't want monkey to handle the situation tau. So this is very strong statement lah, sebab pada dia talent development, talent skill ni is very important to the organisation lah. Okay, back to what our friends already share and all tu. Saya boleh nampak lah semua benda tu sebab it happen in all company mostly lah. Okay, ada yang memang HR memang orang kata tangkap muat sahaja, hantar staff ni pergi training for the sake of cukupkan kredit. Okay, this year you punya training kredit kena habiskan 3 training. So pick and choose whatever training, you just go. Kan?
I think dia macam ni Zulmi. Mungkin dia kata pick and choose tu, dia kata lebih kurang dalam you punya domain lah.
Right.
Tapi dia kadang-kadang dia tidak betul lah, katakanlah you are in accounting katakan kan. Lepas tu dia kata okay, we have a budget say 10,000 lah katakan. Okay. You need to you need to attend H2 training. So you carilah apa-apa training yang mungkin 5,000 satu session jadi 10,000 untuk session. Jadi janji habis. Janji siap. Kan?
Betul.
So at the end of the day, the results may not be that excellent lah. For example kan. And then staff pula dia akan pilih okay, mungkin I nak pergi inilah, tak I nak pergi training kat Pahang ke, I nak pergi training kat Perlis ke, whatever lah, dia nak jalan sebenarnya kan. Jadi kadang-kadang dia tak pilih benda yang relevan tapi dia pilih
Betul.
benda-benda lain. Lepas tu HR pula tak monitor because dia kata as long as I give and I have done my job already.
Yeah.
Ya betul. Benda-benda macam ni kita tengok dia mungkin menjadi problem lah. Kan? Jadi
Betul.
dia punya impact tu tak ada. Sebab tu bila kita study pasal KPI dan sebagainya, kita study pasal impact. Kita tak study pasal quantities. Kita tak study pasal quantity. Kita study pasal impact. What is the impact? Then that impact, then you translate it back to the KPI. So daripada situ, you can trace it back. You boleh trace it back to what kind of competency that is required. So bila competency is required, then you see what are the gaps exist. Then you realize that, okay, these are the measures for that. So one of the measures is training. Itu measure one of training. Dia ada banyak lagi mekanisme lain selain daripada training, could be mentoring, could be macam tadi apa you cakap tadi knowledge sharing. Dia banyak mekanisme. Tetapi whatever the mechanism that is been applicable tu, it must have impact factor. Dia bukan quantity factor.
Correct.
Yang tadi kita contoh tadi ada quantity factor saja sebenarnya tu.
Boleh saya tambah sikit Dr.
Ya, boleh.
Okay, so macam yang Dr. cakap tadi tu kan, type of training ni very important juga. Ada orang pergi training to help them with daily task only. Macam Dr. kata tadi, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel kan. Tapi ada orang pergi training ni untuk career path, untuk jam lagi. Okay, tapi I believe in this situation lah. Sebab ada orang kata pergi training ni, balik training sepatutnya Asia tengok lah apa kita nak grow ke apa ke. I must say that this challenge happen a lot in all organisation lah. Internal competition. Maksudnya kan, okay, you pun pergi training, dia pun pergi training, orang lain pun pergi training. So siapa yang kita nak naikkan? So it is about probability lah, increasing your probability. Maksudnya, okay, you dah pergi training, you dah cukup syarat. So you are in our monitoring lah. So nanti kalau ada rezeki baru naik, ataupun we can take it as individual punya score ataupun talent where kalau kita keluar nanti, we still have value. Maksudnya kita tak berharap pada our current organisation lah. That's my view.
Okay, it all depends. Now, macam you kata tadi, mungkin certain training tu is for the future, katakan. I mean, it's for career development dan sebagainya. Okay, I always look at it this way. Kalau you pergi training tu, dia memang untuk dua-dua mekanisme. Satu ialah untuk meet your current punya ni, and secondly, it's also for your future. Then, as for the company, dia akan tengok macam ni saja. Dia, bila I bagi training, I nak benefit. Sama ada you stay in the organisation atau you keluar, tu different story lah. Some organisation pula, bila dia bagi training, katakanlah training value tu is very expensive, 50,000 katakan training tu. So, dia ada kontrak tau. Dia bukan kata, you pergi training, you boleh tabut, you boleh join other organisation. Tak boleh. Dia sometimes dia kata, okay, we lock you. Kalau you attend this sort of training, we lock you for katakan 6 months katakan. 1 year. You tak boleh terus tabut join any other organisation pula. Bonded, betul, bonded. Correct. Alright. Okay, Umur Atira, any views on that, Umur Atira?
So I agree with you regarding the.
Sorry, I tak dengar. Boleh cepat sikit tak, Atira?
Okay. I agree with you regarding the spending stuff for reward purposes, because I also have to look she really like look into or looking forward for teacher to attend to training, any types of training, just to like spending time out of office, maybe for just 1 day.
Okay.
They boleh just for 1 day lah macam tu. So it is kind of rewarding.
Okay. Yes, that is also one of the things yang kita boleh tengok terjadi. Okay, correct. I would say that is also betul juga. Okay. Kalai, Selvi, what is your view? Kalau Selvi, ada tak? Ada view? Tak ada. Okay, what about Daniel? What is your view, Daniel?
My view, so it's, for talent management tadi, for strategic planning apa semua, I think most of the HR kena identify the quality training for staff lah. Not just macam the member kita kata hantar saja. Excel ke apa kan. So macam I prefer actually my HR send me to training till ke apa ke kan. I lebih prefer macam tu.
Okay. I think what is very important is that we understand what is required, what is the training contents. That means at the end of the day, this training will enable people to achieve certain skill set, for example. Yeah. So kita kena faham. I think HR must understand. Bila kita define training tu, what is the purpose of the training and what is the expectations from the training itself lah. Yeah. Maknanya lepas habis training tu, these are the things yang kita expect the outcome is going to be lah. Macam tu lah lebih kurang. Betul lah? Okay. Alright. It's about 10:24. Saya punya laptop pun dah nak habis bateri ni. So can we take about 10 minutes ni rest?
Boleh, sir.
Jumpa balik dalam 10:35. Alright, so I need to plug my punya ni, then we can have a drink ke sekejap ke. Right? Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, are you all guys back?
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, dah ada
Ya,
dah.
doktor. Ya.
Ya, dia dah.
Okay.
Okay, ada.
Alright. Okay, just to recap back apa yang kita dah belajar tadi ya. So for about 1.5 hours, we were just talking about the importance of apa tu strategic management sebenarnya ya. Itu yang sebenarnya kita cerita tadi ya. Sebenarnya it's all about having a good strategy in order to address human resource management and in particular about talent management. So the talent yang you nak ni mesti tally kepada the strategy that you want to achieve lah, ataupun the vision, mission dan sebagainya yang you want to achieve. That's all the whole idea. And what you guys have been discussing just now sebenarnya very important, because if you get exam questions or assignments, yeah, then you have to talk about the two sides of the coins. Okay, dia at the level of masters ni sebenarnya macam saya bagi tahu last week, you kena ada 6 aturan, the introduction, the background, findings, analysis, recommendation, and conclusion. Okay. Now, what sort of answers you wanted to give, and how does the conversation ataupun the discussion just now enrich you punya answers dalam bila menjawab you punya assignments ataupun you punya exam questions? How does that enrich you? Now, at this level, at the master's level, there are 3 things that you need to understand. Okay. Please write this down. Supaya when you be along these 3 main themes, ataupun what is the best words to describe is a Bloom taxonomy, higher level of Bloom taxonomy. Okay, Bloom taxonomy. Nama Bloom ni is a person's name. Taxonomy, that means this is the level that is required of you to address when you deliver your answers. Okay. The 3 things that you must understand is analysis, assessment, evaluation, dan juga synthesis. Yeah, assessment, evaluation, and synthesis. What does it mean? You must be able to assessments ni, evaluation, assessment, there must be a certain level of benchmark. Then only you can evaluate. And then when you perform your answers, it must be synthesized. How does this affect the whole organization? How does this affect the bigger picture? So for example, apa ni? Siapa tulis sama ini? Assessment, evaluation, and synthesis. Yeah, this is the higher level of Bloom taxonomy. Bloom ejaan dia B-L-O-O-M, Bloom taxonomy. Yeah, Bloom taxonomy. Okay, assessments, that means it has to be assessed, but at what level must it be assessed to? Okay. Only you can do an evaluation. That means you evaluate against that benchmark. Then lepas you evaluate against that benchmark, the implication of it, how does it affect the whole organization? That is synthesis. Okay, contohnya, you get the questions about how does training plays a big role in determining the success of talent management. Mana nak jawab soalan ni? How does training plays ataupun this is a caption, lepas tu they ask you to critique. Training leads to good talent management practice. Katakanlah that is the caption, and then the question asks you to critique those things. Cuba kita test tengok yang dah senyap dan ni. Izin, ni dah senyap balik dah masuk second half dah. Okay, Izin, do you want to try? How do you answer this kind of question? You were given this kind of question. How do you approach it?
First, kalau I approach, I akan explain what is training.
Okay.
How does training? Then what does talent development do?
Okay.
So I akan cari the apa tu? The same part of training and same part of talent development lah. Sebab training is part talent development.
Okay.
Okay, so bila training part of talent development, so dia memang ada impact dekat talent development, right?
Okay.
So then I akan terangkan what type of training, your buat custom training ke, reward training as reward ke. So all my answer that will eventually end up as talent development punya apa tu? End up as talent development punya part. So it shows that talent development handles training ni. I akan jawab macam tu lah, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's try. Okay. That's good answer. Let's try Farhana. How would you approach that question?
Okay, Prof. Maybe I start the answer with the identify.
Okay.
Identify about the talent and training. And at the same time, I give some strong example with the explanation.
Okay. Okay. Part of the answers. Okay. Okay. Francis, do you want to try?
Okay, sure. So following what you said about assessment, evaluation, and synthesis, let's take example training. We call it TNA, the training needs analysis, where every company does an annual one. So in the TNA, in terms of assessment, of course, if a TNA is well done, it's very good, means it's really done well by HR, then you will have the core training that's required, and again training by department, because different departments have different needs. So then you assess the TNA and see whether there is an impact. So when it comes to training, you have the training, and then but the hardest thing is the execution, the implementation. I think everyone says that you go for training, you makan, you have a good time, come back, there's no execution or implementation, and so I give very good ideas on how to implement. Like one person said, the manager actually ask them to brief or train the others. That's what I do also, because when I start go for training, when they come back, when I have department meetings, I make sure my staff will give a brief on where they go for training. So they actually take it more serious. So when they come back, they say, hey, I better be careful, I have to talk in front of everybody, I better be serious and pay attention in training. So then it comes to evaluation. You need to evaluate whether the training, in terms of the return or investment on the training, is it has a impact on the organization. Like what you say, doctor, is the synthesis. That's very good. And the impact on the organization is that, of course, people are more competent and people are more productive and more efficient. And that's what training gives about. But a lot of times, I think company failed because, number one, the TNA was not done well, and maybe the execution part as well. So this is my general answer.
Bagus. Jawapan yang bagus. I think, Francis, you got the idea already. What is assessment? Because when you start with assessment, you talk about the TNA. So this is my benchmark. Okay, that is the ground where I'm going to stand with. Then based on that, then only I can do certain amount of evaluation. Because if I get the TNA correct, but the TNA has got to be aligned to my strategy. Remember? Start with the strategy first, and then we do the gap analysis, and then based on the gap, we identify the right training, right? Now, along the way, you should also discuss about not having the right training or having the wrong TNA, that's why, which you already covered just now. So based on that, then you can have a discussion about the importance of having a good TNA, and that you will use that as a benchmark, which is the assessment. Once you have the assessments ready, then only you can evaluate. Okay, the TNA could be good, but the candidate have not reached the full potential of what is expected. Itu boleh jadi outcome juga. It doesn't mean that if the TNA is good, send somebody and then the outcome is excellent. Not necessary. Okay, then you should talk about challenges in that as well, right? What is it? Maybe the training is The TNA is good, but the trainer is not good, for example. There could be so many dynamics in that. You should also discuss what are the shortcomings of this scenarios, for example, right? Dia mesti setiap kali you discuss, dia mesti ada pro and cons, but never use the pro and cons. Kalau pro and cons, the word pro and cons ni, you use it for the undergraduate, but for postgraduate, you don't use this word pro and cons. You describe and you talk about the challenges. Yeah? And your discussion must be interblend. Like I tell you, give this scenario, there could be this possible outcome, there could be these possibilities as well. Right? And then you talk about the synthesis. How does this affect the organization? What if you train somebody, but the outcome was not great? There's a financial implication, loss of opportunities, opportunity cost, and then so on. So you need to talk about all these things. This is what we call synthesis. The synthesis is the implication to the organization. Okay? Nampak tak the complexity of the answers? And those answers are actually already given by your classmates. Tadi yang kita discuss 1.5 jam, they have already provided the answers. That's why we had this discussion just now, so that when you answer this sort of question, you are able to see the dynamics surrounding the issues. Okay, does that make sense, Nadia? Nadia ada tak? Is it okay? Nadia?
Yeah, Prof.
Does it make sense?
Yes, makes sense. And then on top of that, you can use this training which relate to our performance. Yeah, we can relate to that, which meaning that we can know that whether the staff is readiness for the promotion to the next level, part of the planning.
Nampak Now, all my students ni, selepas dia attend my class, dia punya jawapan agak berbeza sikit daripada textbook. Betul? Betul kan, Nadia? Do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree with you.
Dia kena menunjukkanlah kematangan dalam menjawab. Ya? Dia tidak sama. Jawapan dia tak ada dalam, jawapan dia dalam buku dia tak sama. Dia because dia mesti ada element of pro and cons tanpa menggunakan perkataan pro and cons. Itu yang dinamakan assessment, evaluation and synthesis, higher level of Bloom taxonomy. Okay? Alright? Jangan, you don't write an essay yang these are the pros, these are the cons. Ini tak boleh. Ini bukan level master. Okay, you must take one scenario and then you discuss from both sides of the coins. Okay? Syarif, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Does it make sense to you?
Of course. I can just put in one simple thing. More often organizations have, when they select the person for training, the candidate for training, probably that candidate is not well prepared for the training, or he has a very negative attitude. He thinks that training is not suitable for him. So he goes and, as they say, makan and balik.
Makan dan balik awal lah.
Balik awal ke lambat pun sama juga.
Okay.
I mean, the problem is it's a waste of fun lah. So the important thing is you select the correct person with the correct attitude will come back and deliver.
Dia sebenarnya dia Syarif, dia bukan fun saja sebenarnya Syarif. Dia opportunity cost. Opportunity cost dalam kalau siapa tu working hours dia sebenarnya, that means lepas tu dia punya impact di training pun tak bagus, and then the next thing is that the training could have been given to somebody else pula. That is what we meant by opportunity cost. Cost of forgoing the next best alternative. That definition of opportunity cost. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, Atia binti Yaakob. What is your view? Ya, ada tak? Okay, kalau Atia tak ada, let's try Hanif. Hanif dah lama senyap dah ni.
Doctor, regarding this kind of question,
yes,
can we also answer using the Oreo approach? Oreo is like this. First, I provide my opinion based on the question, and then I provide the reason for it. Question maybe the pros of it, and then I provide some example. After which, to conclude, I should restate my opinion again.
Boleh. Actually, you can do that, but it must have the level of assessment evaluation. Boleh, tetapi intisari dia tu mesti ada assessment, evaluation, and synthesis. You could have, you could also have this Orion punya teknik, tetapi dia punya apa ni, it's at the level of undergraduate ataupun diploma punya level.
Not master
It
level.
actually depends on the content of how you discuss it.
I see.
Macam mana you ada an opinion first, right? Anybody can give an opinion, but based on what? For example, so kalau diploma punya level, kata I just take a particular theory and just that's it. Kalau pada degree mungkin dia buat macam tu, tapi pada level master, you must have a certain benchmark. So in this case, you talk about assessment, and this assessment is a particular theory. And then based on this particular theory, I do some kind of evaluation, and therefore I arrive at this opinion.
Doctor, that's the reason part. The reason
Betul.
part.
That's why I said dia punya method dia punya thinking thought process dia sama, tapi dia punya kedalaman dalam discussion dia berbeza daripada diploma, degree dan juga master. Okay?
Nak expand lagi ni.
Jadi kalau at the level of degree, kita tak cakap assessment, evaluation and synthesis. It's more about knowledge. So you get the facts correct, and then you talk about pro and cons. Itu level degree.
I see.
Level master, kita tidak talk about knowledge. We assume you already have the knowledge. So now the knowledge is already given. That's why when you form an opinion, it is based on the assessment and evaluation. So you cannot form any opinion. Tapi kan macam kalau you kata dalam level master degree lah, you say that because the theory says like this, therefore my opinion is like that. You boleh start macam tu. My opinion is consistent with the theory because I am one of the 95 people who agrees on this. I'm not one of the outliers.
Boleh juga.
Faham tak? Itu degree punya level.
Yalah.
And therefore, I support this opinion by giving you these other pros, for example.
But in this level, they want to see our thinking process behind it lah.
That's why we say thank you to Hanira, we say thank you to siapa ni, we say thank you to so many people. We say thank you to Fatin, we say thank you to Faris, because they all provide you the answers already just now.
Exactly.
Faham?
Faham, Doctor?
Okay. Nita, any question, Nita?
No, Doctor.
Okay.
All right.
What is your opinion then? How would you approach the answer?
Which part, Doctor, actually I'm lost regarding the answer about how to answer your question or
yes, type of question sebenarnya, ya. Actually dia tak ada right or wrong answer, but the maturity in answering the question. Okay, that is very important. Maknanya last week I shared with you the flow dia, macam ada introduction, background dan sebagainya. This week I introduce you the idea of this is the level of expectation in the way you answer. Very deep, Hanif. Very deep lah. Okay, tak boleh tak? Okay.
Okay, Doctor, as you said, without saying the pros and cons, but we need to mention the pros and cons by our answer, like taking an example and explaining that particular example. So that's the maturity, as you.
Okay, so don't get this wrong when you answer your question, yeah?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, Fatin, are you there, Fatin? Fatin ada?
Yes, ada.
Yeah, Fatin, how would you answer your question? How would you answer this question?
Yang which one
Yang saya tanya tadi. Ya, about the questions of apa ni training in relation to the talent management. How would you approach this question using assessment, evaluation, and synthesis? Boleh?
Tak sure lagi. Sorry.
Okay. Alright, never mind. Nanti boleh nanti after this maybe you can listen back to the apa tu video apa ni kita punya kelas and then you will see that some of the answers given by other students. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Okay, now I like to refer to the slides. Kejap saya nak share screen and then where is the not there. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Why is that it's not there? Show all the windows. Okay, can you see the slides?
Boleh.
All right, so this is what we have done tadi. So yang ini tadi tu nanti balik you baca lah nanti what are the type of strategies, corporate strategy, competitive strategy, functional strategies, corporate strategy tadi tu ada yang apa tu yang kita maksudkan tadi oligopoly, monopoly dan monopolistic competition and super perfect competition nanti you boleh baca lah I'm not going to go through all this sort of thing because it's interblend dalam kita punya discussion tadi. So what I want you to see, okay, this is strategic human resource, meaning formulating, executing human resource policies, practices that produce employee competency. We talk about competency tadi, behavior to achieve the strategic aims. So they are all aligned to the strategy of the organization. Okay, so this is apa tu example of case study pasal Shanghai, Ritz-Carlton, Portman ni dan sebagainya. Nanti you boleh go through all the sort of things. Some other things. This is benchmarking I told you just now. Okay, some of the things that you can do certain benchmarking. Okay, and then you can look at the strategy-based metrics. So strategy-based metrics, one you have the certain benchmarking, then you can do some evaluation. So the evaluation is based on certain metrics. Okay, itu yang dimaksudkan. Okay. So any question that you want to ask so far, kita dah basically without actually looking at slides, we actually covered the slide to read. But any question that you like to ask before we proceed? Ada soalan nak tanya apa-apa? Syafiq ni ada tak? Nak tanya tak soalan? Apa ni nak tanya soalan apa-apa tak?
Doktor nak tanya.
Ya. Apa dia?
Tadi doktor yang pasal kita punya discussion training place and leads to good talent management kan?
Ya.
Dan doktor ada cerita pasal cara nak jawab soalan untuk master student.
Ya.
Doktor ada sampel ke?
Sampel tak ada. Sampel banyak. But actually I cannot share with you students punya answer lah. Don't worry. Inilah dia punya, this is the challenge dia sebenarnya. This is a challenge. There is no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, kalau you tengok a lot of good writings, they all emphasize on this thing lah. Yeah. Cuma mungkin you tak biasa buat benda ni because yelah, at the level of undergraduate, cara jawapan dia berbeza. Dia tidak sama. Dia bukan, that's the difference between undergraduate dengan postgraduate. The maturity in the answer. We are looking at the same thing, but the way we analyze it is different. Okay? Macam kalau kita kata talent management and training. If you Google, you can see all the benefits of training for talent management. Right? And then if you Google also, what are the bad things of training? You boleh tengok, okay, wrong sort of training, competency of the trainers, readiness of the itu semua yang ada kena mengenai dengan training yang akan bagi apa ni lah drawbacks of the training, for example, right? Okay, but that is not what we want at the level of masters. Itu jawapan tu sesuai untuk undergraduate, but not at the level of masters. Okay, boleh?
Okay.
Kalau apa kita cuba, jangan risau. Kita along the way you will get the idea. Okay, Yohanis, any question that you like to ask?
Belum lagi, Prof.
Okay, ya.
Okay.
Ciapik Bun, ada apa-apa nak tanya?
Setakat ni tak ada masalah, Prof.
Okay. Siapa tadi nak tanya soalan tadi? Ada nama tadi. Syarif?
Saya, Prof.
Yeah.
I see the process of talent acquisition from the stage of studying the training requirement analysis, and then sending people for training, and then other process all well done, but we still fail to get what we want from the subject, the person we send, the participant we send for training. So where do you think is where do you think is the problem which we should rectify?
Here, there are many ways to answer to these questions. What are the problems we send for people for training, and then eventually, maybe the person is also good dan sebagainya, tapi at the end of the day, the outcome is not what is required of us. So there are many. There is a tool that you can use to do this problem solving lah. Ataupun you identify the problems and you want to find the root cause of the answers. For this, I would like you. Okay, because kalau kita dalam kelas, I can quickly draw this diagram. Kalau tidak, kalau dalam sini mungkin little bit difficult. Can I ask you to actually, how do I do this thing? Dia dalam chat. Okay, chat. Okay, then I could do this. Can I ask you to do fishbone? How many of you have heard of this fishbone Ishikawa? How many of you have heard of this fishbone Ishikawa? Ada siapa-siapa?
Ada. Yes.
Ada.
Ya, pernah dengar.
Pernah dengar. Okay,
Pernah.
tapi cakap tadi Fatin cakap ke? Dia siapa tadi? Yohanis cakap ke? Fatin cakap ke? Fatin ni?
Ya.
Fatin dengar kat mana?
Sebab dulu degree saya belajar HR jugalah, dia punya minor tu kan. So pernah tahu tapi sebab practice in kerja, in work. So not really remember lah.
Okay. Yohanis? Pernah dengar?
Tak tahu pun, Prof. Cuma tahulah yang dalam kalau PowerPoint tu ada gambar fish tu.
Okay, you tahu lah ada gambar ikan tu kan? Ranting ikan. Okay.
How do we baca gambar ikan tu? Tapi I tak sure apa.
Okay, Daniel pernah tengok tak, Daniel?
Nak kata saya ingat dia ada about people, machine, material. Dia related lah. Lebih kurang macam tu. Saya ingat lah. Saya lah.
Okay. Dia fishbone Ishikawa ni sebenarnya dia macam Daniel kata lah, man, machine dan sebagainya tu ada. Kalau you Google, dia akan tunjuk benda-benda tu semua. Okay. Dia sebenarnya fishbone Ishikawa ni, bila dia buat ni, dia untuk manufacturing. Jadi that's why dia kata pasal machine. Kan? Dia pasal machine dan sebagainya. Actually, the concept of fishbone Ishikawa is about root cause and issues. Issues and the potential root cause. Okay? The way it is described is that kepala ikan dan juga ranting dia. Kalau kita pergi pasar, how do we know that the ikan is good or not? How do we check ikan is fresh atau tidak?
Gills.
You tengok kat you tengok kat gills dia kan. You tarik dia tengok kat insang dia, nampak color dia merah macam mana, then you can have a feeling whether ikan ni apa tu fresh ke tak fresh. Betul tak Hanif? Betul kan?
Ya, betul.
Tapi kalau dia dah pergi cari kepala ikan, dia dah tak boleh check lah kan?
Tak ada lah.
Itu hentam sajalah kan?
Betul.
Okay. Tapi kalau kita pergi pasar, kita check. Okay. Now, the same analogy is given in the fishbone analysis. That means that the issue is at the kepala. The ranting tu is the root causes of it. Okay. Then kalau kita gunakan the original fishbone analysis, kita kata man, manusia dan sebagainya, dia tak relevan sebenarnya. Kalau dalam kita konteks HR, kita tak guna benda tu. Kita guna benda lain. Tapi konsep dia sama. Okay. Apakah benda yang kita tengok? Kita tengok pada 6. Okay. Apakah 6 benda tu? Anybody can describe? Nur Hashimah, boleh tahu tak apa 6 benda yang kita tengok?
6 benda yang kita tengok untuk isu.
Dalam ranting-ranting tu. Ranting ikan tu. Ada 6 ranting. Apakah dia? Macam Daniel kata tadi, man, machine dan sebagainya. Tapi dalam HR, apakah 6 benda yang kita tengok? Bila Daniel cakap benda tadi tu, itu pasal manufacturing. Tapi kita bukan cerita manufacturing, kita cerita HR. Jadi apa benda yang kita tengok? 6 benda.
Alamak, saya tak sure.
Okay,
Apa
Apa
ya? Apa ya? Isu Alamak, tak boleh nak fikir doktor.
Okay, tak apa. Nanti kita fikir.
Bagi clue satu.
Bagi clue, okay. Ishikawa ni dia bukan orang Melayu, dia bukan Muslim, jadi dia non-Sharia compliant.
Benda yang tak sepatutnya ke?
Bukan. Bukan sepatutnya. Tak apa, nanti I get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's try Hanira. Do you want to try Hanira? What are the 6 things?
Tak sure lah, Prof.
Tak sure.
Pasal
Haniza.
Tuhan ke?
Apa dia? Bukan.
Ketuhanan ke? Tak.
Tak ada. Hanira.
Religion ke?
Bukan. Hanira, do you want to try? Siti Hanira.
Tak sure, Prof.
Okay. Dia ranting dia ada 6. Okay. Sebab Ishikawa ni dia Japanese, dia bukan Sharia compliant. So 6 benda yang saya nak you ingat dan you boleh ingat sampai mati dengan mudahnya ialah 1 husband, 5 wives. 1 husband, 5 wives. That means the husband is how lah. Kan? Yang wife dia yang lain tu ialah why, where, when, who and what. So imagine ranting tulang tu, tiap-tiap satu tu represent 1 husband, 5 wives. Okay, kalau you ada isu dia dekat kepala dan ranting-ranting tu you akan tengok dari segi apa yang menyebabkan bermasalah. Okay, so this is one of the things you need to check. I want you to go back after this. Okay, over the weekend, selepas you minum-minum petang, esok kan, dah makan goreng pisang dan sebagainya, give some thought about how to do this. Boleh?
Boleh.
Boleh Amira?
Okay, doktor.
Boleh. So next week Amira present, boleh? Boleh Amira dengan Punita, boleh present next week?
Boleh, doktor.
So I boleh relax, you boleh bercakap 3 jam pula. Boleh?
We will try to ask question and ask the participant to answer.
Okay. Okay. I never thought of that. Okay. Alright. So this is what we call fishbone Ishikawa. So dia sebenarnya fishbone Ishikawa ialah ada kepala dia, the head is the head is the issue. Okay, dalam management kita tak cakap problem, kita kata issue. They don't use the word problem. So this is the issue that we are facing. And how do you want to find the root causes of the issues? Ini yang seperti Hanif tulis itulah. One husband, 5 wives. Dia tak syariah compliant. Kan, jangan pula nantikan next week Fatin cakap, I terlupa lah, I ingat dia syariah compliant, nanti hilang satu W ni. Okay? Boleh ya Fatin?
Boleh.
Okay, alright. Alright, that's what we wanted to cover for that part. Okay, so kita ada a few other things to look at after this. Okay, so the next thing that I want you to look at is what is HR audits. Anybody have any idea what is HR audits? This is the second part of the discussion today. What is HR audits? Then why HR audit is important? Okay, we also covered this just now at the very beginning of our class. Tadi saya ada bagi tahu sedikit HR audit. Apa dia HR audit? Cuba Zulhilmi, can you try? Apa dia HR audit?
Dia macam kita check lah tentang HR kita ni. Kita tengok sama ada HR kita ni dia tip-top ke, dia align ke dengan organisation punya goal. Kita tengok balik dia punya detail dia punya detail tu, macam dia punya policy, dia punya procedure, dia punya practices. So all this yang kita buat dalam audit lah, betul tak?
Betul. Tetapi biasanya macam mana kita kalau dapat satu soalan macam ni, so from now on, how do you want to make sure that if you do not really know the answer, at least you know how to start to look at the areas. Katakanlah, if anybody were to ask you any questions, definitely bukan semua soalan you boleh jawab kan, tetapi you must have some good thought process or at least some good guesstimation lah. Guess and estimation. So dia kena ada macam jawapan itu taklah dari jauh sangat. Apakah teknik yang kita boleh guna untuk menjawab soalan-soalan macam ni? Anybody can give an idea?
Doctor?
Yes, Syarif.
HR audit, I think it's we check whether the HR policies are correct.
Yes, that is part of the answer. My question just now is that macam mana kalau kita tak tahu jawapan dia, tetapi okay, just say next week I give you a different question. How would you approach to a particular question? At least what are your thought process? Macam mana kita nak tengok area apa yang kita nak tengok bila kita nak menjawab? Siapa nak try?
Saya try Dr. Hizir.
Okay, Hizir lagi. Okay.
Maybe for the, kan doktor tanya pasal audit kan. Maybe we can define audit tu. So kalau based on Bloom tadi lah. Tapi I think you are asking a different question. Tapi based on that, you try to explain what is audit inside out lah. Then you relate to HR. I will do that.
Okay, you will do that. Now when you look into HR, apa benda yang you tengok dalam HR?
HR is about employee, I mean the policies, procedures, benda-benda macam tu lah Prof. Related to employees lah.
Okay. People, procedures.
People, procedure.
Okay, betul. Tetapi yang ini, kalau orang yang boleh banyak membaca, dia boleh 3. Kalau orang yang tak membaca, macam mana dia boleh juga jawab soalan ni? Apa dia really baca? At least they guess lah around the same idea. Or what I'm trying to tell you now is that if anybody were to give you any question about HR, you can answer. If you don't get 100% correct, put at 60-70% correct. At least the thought process correct. That's what I'm trying to share with you now. Macam mana kita nak at least make sure that we get correct. Tadi tu yang saya bagi tu in depth of the discussion. Tetapi the areas dia, apa kaki areas dia. Last week I did mention a little bit about this.
Doktor, human capital ke?
That's one of the answers. Siapa jawab tu tadi?
Shima.
Okay, Shima. Okay. Alright. I give a clue. That is one of the answer. What are the other two answers? Anybody else can try? Two other answers. Johannes, you want to try?
Sekejap, Prof.
Okay.
Apa soalan dia ni? Nak kena jawab what is HROD
Yes, kalau kita nak jawab benda tu, memang tadi apa tu Izzy kata tadi, kita tengok the definition, kita tengok kupas benda tu. Okey, kita dah kupas benda tu, tetapi macam mana kita nak, kalau kita nak buat audit, apa benda yang kita nak buat audit tu? Dia kata tadi kita tengok policy dan sebagainya. Okey, correct. I tak kata salah, correct. Because dia dah baca ke apa, dia ada policy. Tapi for somebody who doesn't know where to start, at least now they would know where to start. There are 3 things that they need to look at. Hima kata tadi, human capital. Right. I refine the human capital as people saja. Okay, people. Okay. Tell me the other 2 answers. What are the other 2 things that I should be looking?
Kalau I approach this, why kenapa kita nak buat benda ni?
Okay.
Tujuan, objective of doing the HR audit.
Okay, alright. Correct. I tak sarankan jawapan tu betul. What I'm trying to say is that there are 3 areas that we should be looking at. One of the areas is people. Lagi apa lagi the areas, the other 2 areas?
And process.
Okay.
People, process.
One more.
Ya, apa lagi
Dia 3 ni dia serangkai. Apa-apa you buat, mesti tengok 3 benda ni saja. Apa-apa soalan you jawab, kena tengok 3 benda ni saja. Apa dia? People, proses, satu lagi apa?
Effectiveness, proses kan?
Kan? Let's try. Siapa boleh try? Siapa boleh teka?
Sources.
Apa dia?
Sources.
Kan? Saya bagi clue. Dia dah ada 2 kan? PP, satu lagi. Dia kalau singkatan dia tu dalam Microsoft ada nama dia tu. PP apa?
PPT.
Yes, siapa jawab tu?
Technology, I think.
Yes, siapa cakap tu?
Francis. But somebody
betul.
answer in the group chat already. I think you
dah
give
ada.
credit.
I tak nampak.
I give somebody credit the group chat.
Yes. So anything you do, always talk about this 3 things. Tak kira lah subjek apa pun. Always try to reflect your answers around people, process and technology. How does it affect the people, process and technology? Kalau ada masalah pun dekat situ, kalau bagus pun dekat situ juga. Okay? Faham tak? There are a few techniques yang you nak jawab. Kalau you tak tahu apa benda, focus on it straight. How does it affect the people? Ada good thing, bad thing. Okay, kalau dia kata HR audits lah. What should I be looking? Anything that's affecting the people. Apa dia yang affect the people? Affect the people could be benefits punya ni, salary, apa lagi? Anything to do with people, happiness at the workplace. Ada tak? Kita ada tak? And then to achieve this, kita kena ada processes dia. Apa processes dalam HR? Processes dia mungkin SOP, mungkin delegation of authorities, ada tak benda tu? Ada tak apa tu, policies ke, framework ke? Itu semua part of the process. We have a technology to assist us to achieve that. For example, HRMIS ke, anything to do with technology. Maybe we have a good communication with the channels ke, we have good IT system where people can interact through the system dan sebagainya. So whatever you do, try to reflect your answers. Betul menggunakan Bloom taxonomy, but tackle these 3 things: people, process, and technology. What I'm trying to say is that when you compartmental your answers, skim it in the categories of people, process, and technology. Sama juga bila you buat SWOT analysis. Bila you buat SWOT analysis, so many people, when they do SWOT analysis, if I were to ask you, okay, tell us, you do a SWOT analysis about your organization in relation to the context of human capital, katakan. You try lah buat benda-benda tu maknanya dalam strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats you talk about the element aspect of people, process and technology. Weaknesses pun sama, opportunities pun sama, threats pun sama. Itulah maksudnya bila you compartmentalkan you punya jawapan tu, the thought process is along the people, process and technology punya konteks. Okay, boleh tak?
Boleh.
Boleh ya?
Boleh.
Kan? Jadi sekarang ni jawapan you lebih holistik lah kan? Kalau tidak dia jadi cacah merba. Sekejap dia cerita pasal people, sekejap dia cerita pasal proses, sekejap dia cerita pasal teknologi, sekejap dia cerita pusing-pusing. Tak ada, jangan pusing-pusing kali ni. Kali ni kalau you nak cerita, okay, cerita pasal people. Lepas tu cerita pasal proses. Jadi dia nampak orang ni cantik je kan? So dalam people kita boleh cerita pasal anything that is affecting people. Lepas tu bila cerita pasal proses, kita boleh cerita pasal management style, kita boleh cerita pasal delegation authorities, kita boleh cerita pasal SOP, kita boleh cerita pasal policies, itu semua dalam proses lah. Dan nampak tak sekarang ni jawapan you jadi banyak. Because now, you punya thinking is more systematic.
Doktor nak tanya.
Ya, boleh.
Siapa dulu?
Boleh tanya.
Okay. Let's say macam kalau betul soalan ni keluar nanti kan. Contohlah. Macam saya tak jawab cara yang people, process and technology. Saya terus masuk ke sebab saya biasa audit. So saya memang biasa akan terus tengok kepada polisi dia, prosedur, macam mana HR ni dia punya strategy and planning, dia punya recruitment ke atau dia punya training kan. So adakah jawapan saya kalau saya jawab macam tu salah? Sebab
jawapan dia tidak salah. Dia tidak salah. Jawapan dia tidak salah. Jawapan dia betul. Cuma jawapan dia akan jadi cacah merba. Sebab sekejap you cerita pasal ni, sekejap you cerita macam ni, sekejap you cerita macam ni. Dia jadi macam tidak ikut, dia tidak, bukan kata ni tau. Tidak, dia jadi kejap dia cerita pasal people, kejap dia cerita pasal proses, kejap dia cerita pasal, lepas dia pucing-pucing. Jadi dia nampak macam tidak ada good flow of presentation. Dia tidak salah. Yang kedua, dia sekarang ni, because you don't have a proper heading, jadi you punya jawapan tu could skewed to just people saja. Dia tak skewed, dia tidak lebih komprehensif lah, tidak lebih menyeluruh. Itu saya punya concern lah. Saya tak kata salah, tetapi untuk orang yang tidak memahami, sekarang ni boleh menjawab soalan ni. Untuk katakanlah macam case you biasa buat audit, jadi I dah cover benda ni. Dan sesat you might be covering everything pun. Cuma sekarang ni ada satu orang yang tidak belajar pasal benda ni, dia, kalau people, process and technology, then I could actually guess dalam people apakah benda-benda yang akan di-discuss. Dalam proses, apakah benda-benda yang boleh kita discuss dalam proses. Dan dalam teknologi, apakah benda-benda yang mungkin kita boleh cerita dalam. Okay?
Okay.
Kan dia jadi macam lebih senang lah dalam kita punya presentation, dalam kita punya cara nak menjawab apa-apa soalan pun, lebih senang sekarang ni. At least dalam menjawab tu you dah boleh fikir, benda-benda ni mestilah I masukkan dalam tu. Jadi I tak payahlah hafal. Okay? Boleh ya?
Okay.
I punya ni dah jadi alright.
Doctor, can I ask for let's say you tak cukup budget kan, because sometimes issues can be because you cannot solve it because the company got no money. How will you classify that under process?
Okay, duit ni sebenarnya dia ada tiga saja, people, process and technology. People ni anything to do with human being. Okay, technology is anything to do with IT, system dan sebagainya. Anything else daripada tu biasanya duduk dalam proses. So proses ni termasuklah budget, proses dan sebagainya. So dalam aspek yang you cakap tadi tu has something to do with the element of process. Okay?
Okay, got it.
bila kita clustering dia lah. Dia tak boleh jatuh dalam bawah people, tak mungkin dia jatuh bawah people kan. Jadi dia mesti jatuh daripada tempat-tempat, dia masuk dalam tempat-tempat yang lain lah. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh, boleh.
Okay. Ada apa-apa lagi nak tanya tak? Kenapa dia jadi macam ni? Okay. Ada apa-apa lagi nak tanya? Fatin, ada apa-apa nak tanya Fatin? Daniel, ada apa-apa nak tanya?
Tak ada, Doktor.
Ada.
Okay, no problem Okay. Now example, give an example of what employees can do to have high performance system. Boleh tak? Okay, kalau kita tengok slide nombor 30, there is a question there. Macam mana organisation ni nak memastikan, for example, we have a very high performance system. What do we define? What do you mean by very high performance system? Bila orang kata the organization is a high performing organization, what does it mean? Siti Salma, do you want to try? Siti Salma ada?
Ada, Prof.
You want to try? What do you mean by high performing system? High performance work system. Boleh?
Tak ada idea, Prof.
Okay. What about Kalimi? You want to give a try? Kalimi ada tak?
Ada, Prof.
Okay. What do you understand by high performance work system?
Saya tak berapa pasti, tapi saya rasa dia lebih more on enhancing employee skill, motivation, involvement and career development.
Okay. Yang itu has something to do with human being. Itu has something to do with human being. So when we talk about system, that means it's a particular system yang dia buat. That means that the system must be very strong. So, biasanya sistem yang baik ni biasanya diikuti yang ada yang paling penting dalam itu is actually policies. So dia selalunya dalam organisation bila polisi dia very strong, that means bila kita cerita polisi, there must also be enforcement. Kalau ada polisi saja tak ada enforcement, tak jadi juga kan, betul lah kan? Right, for example, how to use the road effectively. Ada tak siapa-siapa tengok polisi tentang menggunakan jalan raya? Macam mana kaedah menggunakan jalan raya? Faris ada tengok tak, Faris?
Tengok undang-undang jalan raya je lah.
Undang-undang jalan raya tu is actually policy lah kan? That means kalau kita tengok undang-undang jalan raya, kita akan tengok katakanlah lane tu ada 2 katakan. Jadi kalau you bawa slow, you duduk sebelah kiri, betul tak? Kalau you nak memotong, you duduk sebelah kanan, betul? Am I correct, Faris?
Yeah.
Okay, that is one of the policy. Lepas tu dia kata gunakan traffic light, katakan. Lepas tu dia gunakan kadar kelajuan di satu tempat tu kan, betul kan? Itu saya consider polisi lah. Okay. Dan kalau kita ikut polisi itu, dia anggap kita boleh menggunakan jalan raya dengan baik. Tetapi ada tak orang bawa perlahan duduk sebelah kanan? Kan? Selalunya dia perasan dia laju kan? Itu yang selalunya berlaku kan? Betul tak? Jadi Faris kena potong sebelah kiri, betul?
Yeah, that's what usually happen lah.
Lepas tu kita tengok tak kat traffic light ada orang langgar je lampu merah. For example, motosikal dia tengok tak ada apa-apa di jalan. Ada tak?
Yeah.
So they are the king of the road, for example, dia tak kisah pula kan. Ada juga bila dia tengok tak ada apa tu polis ke ataupun kamera dan sebagainya, katakan tak laju dia 80, dia belasah je 120 katakan. Betul tak?
Yeah.
Polisi ada tetapi tak ada enforcement. Betul? Kan? Sama juga kalau kita di pejabat, kita patut masuk pukul 8 sampai pukul 9. Dia ada polisi, maknanya 8 sampai 9. Okay. So how do you detect somebody masuk kerja dan keluar kerja? Kita pakai punch card tu kan. Tekan, lepas tu dia masuk, kita tahu dia masuk pukul 8.30 dan sebagainya. Tetapi ketika dia masuk pukul 9.10. Tapi HR tidak ada enforcement. Maknanya tiap-tiap hari dia datang pukul 9.10 minit, 9.30 dan sebagainya. Tapi tak ada masalah. Sebab tak ada enforcement. Jadi bila dikata high performance work system, sebenarnya dia mesti ada polisi yang strong. So polisi yang strong ni mesti diikuti ataupun disertai dengan enforcement. Barulah dia jadi praktikal. Kalau tidak, tidak jadi praktikal. Kan? And then bila polisi ni, macam mana kita nak tahu polisi ni dia berkesan ke tidak? So for example, kalau kita gunakan jalan raya lagi sekali. So kalau kita katakan jalan raya ni sebenarnya actually dia guna traffic light. Apa kegunaan traffic light tu? Traffic light tu nak control the traffic from one direction to another direction kan. So dia become systematic. So bila ni hijau, yang ni jalan, yang ni tapi have you come to a situation where actually there's no cars at all, but then you have to wait just because the traffic light tu masih tunjuk merah, belum sampai turn you jadi biru, hijau. Ada tak? Ada tak Faris?
Ada.
Jadi you jadi marah, you langgar je kan, betul tak? Itu yang terjadi pada pukul 2 pagi dan sebagainya kan. Orang tengok tadi kita, dia langgar je kan. Sebab dia tak sabar. Kan? Jadi, maknanya dia dekat situ, polisi dia ada. Tapi enforcement mungkin tak ada, polis tak ada. Tetapi measure yang digunakan tu tidak kena. Sebab apa? Dia tak ada intelligence dalam. Maknanya, intelligence tu tidak ada di mana traffic light tu dia tak ada sensor untuk tengok ada kereta ke tak ada kereta. Jadi dia belasah je. Katakan tiap-tiap satu traffic light tu 3 minit. Ada 4 direction. You kena tunggu 12 minit. 3 minit, barulah you punya turn. Selepas 9 minit, baru you dapat jalan. Padahal tak ada kita. Tapi you have also come to a city, contohnya certain cities in the world, especially in developed countries, where they have monitoring. Balik maknanya dia tengok the flow of the traffic, then they define the movement of the traffic light. Betul tak?
Smart traffic light.
Ada tak? Smart traffic light ada?
Ada.
Sama lagi tu dengan HR. Maknanya bila dia come to a policy, dia ada enforcement, dia kena ada the right measurement.
Monitoring.
Let me tell you, for example, I used to work for Petronas in the past. Okay. I'm not sure whether this was a good measurement ataupun tidak. Tetapi dia ada mekanisme yang dipanggil force distribution. Okay. Apa maksud force distribution? Okay. Now, they have a policy. The policy is that we need to measure stuff. Okay, so semua orang kena measure. Then after you measure, you need to reward the staff ataupun you need to punish the staff. Okay. So bila nak reward tu kita kena ada marking, kita kena ada buat evaluation dan sebagainya lah. So at the end of the day, the whole idea is that we want to reward certain staff lah ataupun we want to take action against certain staff. So, dekat Petronas, when I was there many years ago, 2008, dia panggil force distribution. Okay, force distribution means that there will be somebody in the category department tu best in class. Dan there will be somebody yang akan jadi worst in class. Sebab dia force distribution. Dia tak boleh kata semua orang performing. Tak ada. Kalau the top performing team pun mesti ada yang the best and the worst. Kan? Cumanya, there was a flaw in that system. Because bila you buat macam tu, ada jadi orang akan compare pula. Ada department yang memang very good, ada department yang tak very good. Walaupun department tu very good, ada juga yang poor. Sebab dia lowest in the class. Masalahnya they have a policy at the time. When you become last in class ataupun dekat bottom in the class, then you will get a surat lah. Maknanya you are considered non-performing. Kalau 2 kali you dapat lowest in the class, you kena buang kerja. Jadi you will question, this is a very bad policy. Because my team is so strong, semuanya terror-terror. Jadi I jadi last in class. Kalau 2 kali I dapat last in class, I kena buang. Sedangkan department lain tu, dia tak berapa bagus, tetapi dia reward lah people. walaupun dia punya average performance tu very average kalau kita compare lah kan. What people did was that in order to overcome this issue, what they did a rotation. Mana kata kalau hari ni jadi best in class, kalau kita next round of assessment, you takkan jadi best in class lah. Dia pergi kepada orang lain pula. Kalau you were used to be, kalau last 6 months you used to be the worst in class, the last in class, next 6 months you akan naik pula ke atas. Jadi last kali tak ada siapa kena buat. Nampak tak? So the policy tu ada flaws. Bila they create this kind of policy, dia ada flaws lah. So what I'm trying to say is that kita kena create satu polisi yang mana the measures tu sebenarnya practical and make sense. Dan dia boleh digunakan pakai. Oleh itu kita kena check robustness, feasibilities of the system yang digunakan. Tadi I heard ada suara, ada orang nak tanya apa-apa soalan ke?
Ini macam bell curve kan?
Yes. Dia macam bell curve pun boleh juga. Ya, ada orang guna bell curve kan. Kalau dulu kita tengok SPM, apa dia guna bell curve. Kalau tidak semua orang dapat 5A katakan. Atau semua orang dapat semua A katakan. Dia tak boleh buat. Tak kan? So, kalau you tengok dalam SPM, setiap tahun, agak-agak you berapa orang ambil SPM dalam Malaysia? Ni, agak-agak berapa orang ambil SPM? Setiap tahun, sekitar berapa orang?
Sekitar berapa orang setahun? Maybe
have you got any idea?
400,000 also.
Lebih kurang dalam 500,000 juta.
Okay.
500,000. So the statistics will tell you out of 500, about 1/3 of them will go to universities or institute pengajian tinggi. 1/3 daripada mereka pula akan pergi ke job industry, dan 1/3 kita tak tahu apa jadi dengan mereka. Maknanya dia terkeluar daripada ranah lah. Mungkin dia tidak bekerja ke, ataupun dia keluar negara hilang. Kita tak tahu apa jadi dengan dia. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that what you said just now is correct. Jadi bila dia buat macam tu, bila kita tengok dalam paper 20,000 orang dapat 10A. Wih, dahsyatnya kan. Tapi kita kena tengok 20,000 tu seperti yang Hanif kata tadi lah. Kalau kita tengok bell curve dia tu, dia ada daripada 20,000 daripada 500,000 juta. Kalau 20,000 daripada 500,000 juta, dia tak sampai 5% pun. Betul tak? Kalau 10% baru 50,000. Kalau 5% baru 25,000. Jadi that means tak sampai pun 20% orang yang dapat 10. So, correct lah. Kalau kita kata begitu, then it's for the bell curve tu lah. Betul lah? Does it make sense tak ni?
I guess so. Okay.
So, sama juga dalam organisation. So, there must be some kind of control supaya dia ada certain kind of comparative between the staff dan sebagainya. Kalau tidak, kita terpaksa reward semua orang. Kan? Jadi kalau kita nak reward semua orang pula, mungkin akan ada financial implication kepada organisasi. Ya? Okay? Alright, any other questions? Tak ada. Ada soalan? Tak ada. Okay, boleh. Okay. So, the next one, kita dah nak sampai ke towards the end of the slides tu. Macam mana kita nak buat program to improve employee engagement? First of all, can anybody define what is employee engagement? Khairul-Shah, you want to do that, Khairul-Shah? You want to try to define what is employee engagement?
Macam saya saya just bagi sampel sebab saya dari department, mungkin mudah bagi saya lah kan. Biasa untuk engagement ni kita akan provide diorang training, and then after that kita minta diorang buat analisis lah untuk kita punya apa yang kita dah hantar di training. And then macam sebab kita ada implement QMS, kita nak kita punya I punya department tu comply lah dengan apa yang company dah buat, apa yang dah tertulis dalam quality manual, and then kena follow client punya requirement. So kita ada juga buat metrik untuk diorang. Lepas tu so and then kita akan minta diorang punya feedback lah. Mungkin diorang punya KPI okay, kita akan bagi reward dekat diorang. And then training yang kita hantar tu biasanya sebab saya head diorang, so saya akan make sure training yang saya propose tu memang berkaitan dengan quality department lah, supaya budak-budak ni boleh improve dalam quality punya area.
Okay, so Khairul, apa yang berlaku ialah you have explained how this is done in your organization lah, you punya supervision, right? Okay, biasanya what we talk about employee engagement is that employee ni, they need to be told about what are expected of them. That means they need to be reminded all the time about how they are valued in the organization. Okay. Now, one of the methods to do that is of course through KPI. But dalam KPI, kita kena explain kepada staff, these are the things that are required of you to achieve. Okay. Dia kena faham. So dia kata, okay, you ask me to do this. Okay. How does it affect? What is the implication of this? You akan kata, actually, bila you deliver benda-benda ni, dia actually delivers to this particular objective, this particular vision dan sebagainya. So staff needs to be aspired so that they can see their contribution is actually achieving part of the KPIs that the organization has to. Okay, let me ask you a question. Kalau siapa boleh jawab soalan ni, maknanya dia mungkin dah baca ke. Kalau kita pergi daripada atas turun ke bawah, maknanya bila kita develop the KPI, kita turun ke bawah, and then biasanya kita akan buat town hall. Kita katalah dalam town hall CEO akan bagi tahu, okay, kita punya KPI tahun ni sekian. Right, then dia kata, okay tuan-tuan, lepas ni you akan dapat surat daripada HR, dan HR akan bagi tahu kat you what are the things that are required of you to achieve. Okay, this will be your KPI. Okay, itu dinama cascading down. Maknanya the KPI is cascaded to the individual levels, to the department levels, and then eventually to the individual. Okay, so itu kalau kita tengok daripada atas turun ke bawah. Okay, so bila kita cerita pasal employee engagement, we talk to the employee and we tell them, these are the things required of you. Kita inform diorang, kita buat apa tu, kita punya interaction dengan diorang dan sebagainya, supaya mereka become aspired to be part of the bigger picture. I nak tanya, kalau kita tengok daripada atas turun ke bawah, dipanggil cascading. Kalau orang dekat bawah, dia tengok ke atas, that means apa I buat ni is part of that contribution, apa dia panggil? Alai, have you got any idea what is it called? How does it, bila kita tengok daripada bawah dan tengok atas, oh, I can see my contribution. I'm a very important person. Apa dia panggil Alai?
No, I don't have any idea.
Okay. Francis, have you got any idea, Francis?
Recognition.
Recognition, okay. Recognition is what you get lah. Tapi apakah teknik yang dipanggil? Kalau daripada atas turun ke bawah, dipanggil cascading. Kalau daripada bawah naik ke atas, maksudnya orang kat bawah dia tengok ke atas. Oh, I boleh nampak lah apa I buat ni achieve this particular objective.
Aligning.
Apa dia? Sorry?
Aligning.
Si Francis pun another candidate untuk dapat A. Francis jawab tadi tu ya?
Bukan saya.
Siapa jawab tadi tu? Faris, yes. The answer is line of sight. L-I-N-E of S-I-G-H-T, line of sight. That means staff yang duduk kat bawah, dia kena tengok, oh I can see lah, my contribution is to achieve this particular objective, this particular. Then they are inspired. Jadi dia tahu actually I'm actually somebody lah. Actually I'm not nobody. I can see kalau I tak buat benda ni, tak boleh achieve benda ni. Siapa yang buat? Sebab cuma I punya jalan aja yang boleh tuju ke sana. Memanglah kecil, tapi I lah yang buat, bukan orang lain. Sebab orang lain dia tak ada tugasan ni. Contohnya, Pak Gad for example. Now, Pak Gad, what is the contribution katakan? Maybe one of the KPI is that dekat dalam tu ialah CEO must ensure that the environment is conducive and safe dan sebagainya. Dia kata environment is conducive and safe. Conducive benda lain, safe benda lain. Actually, the Pak Gad tu dia ambil yang bahagian safe saja. Dia kena ensure the security level is very high, orang tak boleh keluar masuk senang hati dan sebagainya. So they can see, actually if I don't do my job, CEO will not be able to achieve it. They can achieve the KPI, landscaping bagus lah, semua bagus, tapi security tak bagus. Maknanya orang boleh keluar masuk office dengan sewenang-wenang. Orang luar boleh masuk office dengan sewenang-wenang. So dia tidak menjawab the security element of it. Jadi kita tengok daripada bawah, kita panggil line of sight. Kalau kita tengok dari atas, kita panggil cascading down. Okay?
Doktor.
Ya.
Saya nak recap balik. Maksudnya line of sight ni, the staff tu, the bottom tu, bila dia tengok atas tu, they also feel they are very important
that's
to
the whole idea.
and
They
so
feel that
they
they
grow
are part of the contributors.
Make the big circle lah, the bigger circle lah, correct? Alright.
Work in the team. That's why KPIs are very important. Kadang-kadang bila kita bagi tahu satu KPI, orang tak faham. Reflect to whatever that I'm contributing to the organization. Itu kadang-kadang orang tak rasa, alah tak penting lah kau ni. Kau ni ada, tak ada maksud. Tak ada. Doesn't affect the organization. That cannot be right. Yeah? Selalu the communication is about cascading down. This is your KPI. But you don't really tell the staff that, hey, if you deliver this, then you see that this is your impact to the organization. Then they will be inspired